today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful and professional WordPress website step by step. And you don't need to know any type of coding or programming whatsoever. It's just going to be a bunch of drag and drop and copy and paste. And as you can see, this website is just beautiful. It's simple, it's sleek, and it has everything that you need. So if you want to learn how to build a beautiful and professional WordPress website and you want to save thousands of dollars building it out yourself, then keep watching this video because I'm going to show you how. But first, what I want to do is give you a quick tour of exactly what we're going to build right now. So this is the home page that we're going to learn how to make. And the first thing that we're going to do is learn how to create a full width slider. So I'll show you how to add some custom text and how to add as many different buttons as you want for your slider. And you can customize the colors for your WordPress website to be whatever color that you want. So I'll show you how to do that in this video tutorial. And then what we're going to do is learn how to create an about section. So we'll add some text over here and I'll show you how to insert an image and also how to add as many different buttons as you want to your WordPress website. And then what we're going to do is create a products or services section. So we can add some images or some icons right here. And we can link these to another page and we can have this hover effect if you want. And then we'll also add a button down here to link to another page if you want as well. And below this, we're going to add another about section. So again, we'll show you how to add some text and an image and also how to link a button to another page. And then we're going to have a blog section where we can insert our latest blog post right here for our visitors to stay updated on what we're doing. And then what we're going to do is add a testimonial section where we can add as many different testimonials from our clients. And then we'll put in a call to action at the bottom to link to another page. And then we'll have a custom footer down here. And again, we can customize these colors to be whatever we want. And by the end of this video, you're going to be a WordPress expert. So now what I want to do is show you what the about page is going to look like. So this is the about page that we're going to make for our WordPress website. And we'll have a custom title at the top. And if you want to insert a background image or a background row, I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll put in a layout with some text on the left-hand side. And then we'll insert an image on the right-hand side. And then we'll have a products or services section where you can insert some icons. And you can link these to other pages if you want. And then we'll have another about section right here, and we'll also insert a button to link to another page on our WordPress website. And we'll round out this page with a call to action and our button down here. So this is the about page, and now what I want to do is show you what the success stories page looks like. And for the success stories page, we're also going to have a custom title at the top, and then we'll insert some testimonials down here. And you can insert as many testimonials as you want. And then below that, we'll have a client logo section. So if you have some clients with different logos that you want to insert into your WordPress website, we can insert that right here. And then we'll have an opt-in form for your visitors to sign up for your newsletter or so that you can collect their email address. And then we'll have our footer at the bottom. Okay, so the next page that we're going to make is the team page. And for the team page and every other page that we make for this WordPress website, we'll have a custom title at the top, and I'll show you how to insert whatever type of background image or color that you want for this section. And for this page, what we're going to do is insert some employees, and if you hover over their image, you can link to their different social media profiles, and if you click on the image, it's going to expand, and you can go through all of your different employees like this. And then below this, what we're going to do is just put in a call to action and our footer. Okay, so the next page that we're going to make is our image gallery. And for the portfolio page, we're going to have a custom title and background image, and you can insert as many different images as you want. And if you click on this image, it's going to expand and you can just go through your image gallery just like this. And below this, we're going to have a call to action and our footer down here. Okay, so the next page that we're going to make after this is the blog post page. And for the blog page, we're going to have a custom title at the top, and then our category names right here for our different blog posts. And the layout that we use for this page is the masonry grid option. So that's a full width layout, and we'll have our featured images at the top with our blog title and a small excerpt below, and then some details about our blog post down here. And below this, what we're going to do is insert an opt-in form to sign up for your newsletter, and then we'll have our custom footer right below. And let me quickly show you what an individual blog post looks like. And for the blog post page, one of the layouts that you can see right here is having the title in the center of the page, but there's a few different options. So I'll show you that as we go through building our WordPress website. And below the title, we'll have a featured image on the left-hand side, and we can have a sidebar on the right-hand side that I'll show you how to customize as we go through creating the WordPress website. And then we'll have our blog post text below, and then we can have a section for your visitors to leave you a comment down here. Okay, so this is the blog post page, and now what I want to do is show you the contact page that we're going to make. And again, on the contact us page, we're going to have a custom title at the top, and we'll insert some details about your business right here so your visitors can get in touch with you. And we'll also insert a contact form for your visitors to send you a message. And if you have a physical location, we can insert this map to pinpoint where you're located, and then we'll put in an opt-in form at the bottom and our custom footer down here. Okay, and the last page that we're going to make is the frequently asked questions page. And for the frequently asked questions page, we're going to have a custom title at the top, and then you can insert as many different questions and answers as you want, and we'll separate these out into different categories. And if you want to see the answer to any of these questions, you just have to click and expand them, and they'll open up like this. And below this, we're going to put in our call to action and our custom footer down here. So if you want to build this beautiful and professional WordPress website step by step, and you want to save thousands of dollars building out yourself, then keep watching this video, because now what we're going to do is learn how to make this exact WordPress website step by step. So if you're ready, I'm ready, let's get started. The first thing that we have to do is get our domain and hosting service. So our domain is our web address, and hosting service allows you to run your website and store all of your content. So I recommend that you go to a website called Hostgator.com for all of this. So if you want, go ahead and type in www.hostgator.com and then push enter. And once you come to the HostGator website, this is where we're going to get our hosting service and our domain. And I run all of my websites on HostGator because they're super fast, really reliable, they're cheap, and they have great customer service. So I like to recommend them to everyone that watches my video tutorials. So once you come to HostGator, what I want you to do is click on this link at the top that says web hosting. And now you should see three different plans right here, the Hatchling, Baby, and Business Plan. And the Business Plan has more than what we need, and it's really expensive. So we're not going to talk about this one. We're just going to focus our attention on the Hatchling and the Baby Plan. So the Hatchling plan is if you want to make one website and one website only, then all you need is the Hatchling plan. And if you want to make more than one website and you want to host them on the same account, you want to get the Baby plan. So you can select whichever one that you want. All you have to do is click on the Buy Now button. So we'll just click on this. And now you should be brought to this sign up page, and we're going to go through these steps together. And this is actually where you choose your hosting plan. So let's go to step number 1, choose a domain. We're going to register a new domain. So make sure you're on this tab right here. And what you want to do is type in the web address that you want to register. So I'll type in howtowebtutorials.com and then push enter. And once you get your search results, you should see a green check mark right here if the web address that you want is available. And if it is, then we're good to go. If it's red, what that means is someone else registered the name that you want, and you have to go back in here and search for a new web address. So once you get this green check mark, what I want you to do is just come down to the bottom to the section where it says domain privacy. And this is an extra cost that we don't really need right now. And we can always add this back a little bit later. So I want you to uncheck this box. And then once you're ready, let's come down to step number 2. So step number 2 is choosing your hosting plan. And this is where you're going to go into this first drop down and select either the Hatchling or the Baby plan. And again, the Hatchling plan is if you want to make one website and one website only. And then the Baby plan is if you want to make more than one website and you want to host them on the same server, you want to choose the Baby plan. So for this demo, I'll use the Hatchling plan. And then for the billing cycle, what I like to recommend is either 3 or 6 months, just to give yourself enough time to know whether or not you want to run a website or not. So I'll select 3 months right here. And then what you want to do is type in a username and security PIN. And since I already have an account, I won't type this in, but go ahead and do that. And then once you're ready, let's come down to step number 3. So step number 3 is entering your billing information. And again, I'm not going to do this with you because I already have an account, but if you need to, you can pause the video and type in all of this information and then the details right here, or you can select PayPal also. Okay, And once you're ready, let's go down to step number 4. So step number 4 is adding some additional services, and by default, HostGator selects some of these for you. And what I want you to do is uncheck these boxes because these are extra costs that we don't really need, and we can always add these back a little bit later. And I can also show you how to get your own email address using your domain in another video tutorial that I'll link you to in the video description. So you don't need to pay for any of this stuff. So make sure that you uncheck these boxes, and once you're ready, come down to step number 5. So step number 5 is entering a coupon code, and by default, HostGator puts in a coupon code for you, and you can see the discount down here. And you can see right now there is no discount, but what I want you to do is type in a special coupon code that I can provide to you. So delete this coupon code and type in NYC Tech 30, and then click validate. And this coupon code NYC Tech 30 is actually the highest coupon code available on HostGator. So if you type this in, you can see that you're going to get a really large discount down here. So make sure that you type in NYC Tech 30 and click validate. And then once you're ready, just come down to the bottom and then just click on I have agreed to the terms. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on checkout now. And now if you go to your email inbox, you should have an email from HostGator with your account information. And if you open up that email, you should see a link right here for your control panel. And what we're going to do is log into your control panel so that we can install WordPress and start making our WordPress website. So what I want you to do is click on this link, and it's going to open up a new page to your cPanel. And once you do, go ahead and get your username and your password, and then paste those into these two sections right here. And then once you're ready, click on the login button. And once you're logged in, this is your cPanel, and this is where we're going to go to install WordPress. So all I want you to do is find this button that says build a new WordPress site and click on that. And once you come to this page, all you have to do is go into this drop down and find the domain that you just registered, and then leave this blank and click next. And once you come to this page, I've already filled out this information, but what you can do is put in a blog title, and you can always change this a little bit later, and then create a username and put in your first and last name and an email address right here. And then once you're ready, check these two boxes down here, and then click on the install button. And once the WordPress install is complete, you should see this notification right here, and you should have some login details right here. So you can write this down and save it, or you can go to your email inbox, and you should see this email from HostGator, and you should have your login details right here. So what we want to do now is log into our WordPress website. So come to this email, and what I want you to do is go to the admin URL. So click on this. And once you're on the WordPress login page, all you have to do is type in your username and password. And again, you can go to the email, and you should see the username and password right here. So go ahead and copy and paste that in, and once you're ready, push the login button. And once you're logged in, this is the WordPress dashboard, and this is where we're going to go to create all of our pages and post and upload our images and select our settings for the WordPress website. So you're going to become very familiar with the WordPress dashboard as we go through this video tutorial on making our WordPress website. So before we actually do anything here, what I want to do is just show you what the WordPress website looks like now that we installed WordPress. So I'm going to hover over the website name over here on the upper left and click on Visit Site. And once your WordPress website loads, this is what it should look like. So it should be pretty basic right now. And what we're going to do is go back to our WordPress dashboard and install something called a theme, which is a template that's going to let us customize and build out our WordPress website. So if you're on your WordPress homepage right here, what I want you to do is hover over your website name on the upper left and click on the dashboard link. And now what we're going to do is download and install the theme that we're going to use to make our WordPress website. But before we do that, let me mention one thing. So by default, WordPress should install some plugins for you, and one of them is called the Mojo Marketplace. And if that's activated, then you should see this notification at the top that says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. And what you have to do to publish your WordPress website is click on this link. But we're not going to do that until the end of this video. So what this means is that no one can see your WordPress website unless they're logged into your WordPress account. Okay, so that's just some information for you. And if you don't see this notification, don't worry about that also. All right, so we're going to move on to the next step, which is installing the WordPress theme. So what we want to do is just go to the theme page. So on the left-hand side of your WordPress dashboard, come down to Appearance and hover over that and click on Themes. And once you're on the themes page, you can see that there are a few different WordPress themes that are installed for you. And this is the activated one right here. And what we want to do is install another theme. So there's a few buttons up here that you can click on to search for themes. But what I want you to do is click on the Add New button. And once you're on the Add Themes page, at the top over here, you can see there are a few different filters that you can search for themes by. And all of the themes on this page are free. So there's pretty much a theme for any type of WordPress website that you want to make. And what you can do is hover over these themes and preview them. And if you like it, then you can click on the Install button and then you can activate the theme and start using it to make your WordPress website. But for this video tutorial, what we're going to do is use a premium theme called the Empire theme. So the Soho Themes developers are allowing me to share the Empire theme with you for free. So what you want to do is go to the NYC Tech Club text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website. And there's a link to this page in the video description. So once you come to this page, this is the text tutorial that has every step that we're going to be doing in the video tutorial. And what I want you to do is come down to step number 4, which is installing the WordPress theme. And there's a link right here to download the Empire theme for free. So what I want you to do is click on this link and you're going to download the zip file for the Empire theme. And then what I want you to do is go back to your WordPress website and click on the Upload Theme button at the top. And you're going to see this pop up right here. And all you have to do is click on Choose File and then go to the folder where you save the WordPress theme that you just downloaded. So I'm in my Downloads folder and you can see right here that I have the empire.zip. This is the WordPress theme that I want to install. If you see a folder like this, what you want to do is right click it and compress it so that it becomes a zip file. So once you have your zip file right here, just select that and then click on the Choose button right here and then click on Install Now. And once the theme is installed, go ahead and come down here and click on the Activate button. And once the theme is installed, you should be brought back to this page right here and you should see the Empire theme down here. So before we move on to the next step, let's go and check out our WordPress website. So I'm going to click on this link that says Visit Site. And once your WordPress website loads, this is what you should see now that you're using the Empire theme. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go and we can move on to the next step. So what I want you to do is go back to your WordPress dashboard. So hover over your website name on the upper left and click on Dashboard. And now what we're going to do is move on to the next step, which is installing the required plugins that we need to make our WordPress website. So a plugin is a tool that helps you build and customize your WordPress website. And you can see on the left-hand side, there is the Plugins tab. And if you clicked on Add New, you can search for a bunch of different free WordPress plugins. And you can also buy some premium plugins and install those if you wanted to. But what we're going to do is come to this notification that you should see on your WordPress dashboard that says this theme requires the following plugins. And we want to install all of these. So what I want you to do is click on this link that says Begin Installing Plugins. And now you should be on the Install Required Plugins page and you should see a list of plugins that we're going to install right here. And once we activate all of these, I'll show you how to search for plugins on your own. So the first thing that I want to do is come to the top of the list and check this box right here so that we select all of our plugins and then go into this drop down right here and select the install option and then click on the apply button right here. And once the plugins are installed, if we come down to the bottom of the page, you should see this notification right here that says all the plugins are installed and activated. So if you see this, then we are good to go. And before we move on to the next step, let me show you a few things with the plugins. So on the left-hand side, what I want you to do is hover over plugins and then click on installed plugins. And once you're on the plugins page, this is where you can see a list of all your plugins that are installed onto your WordPress website. And if you want to remove any of these, you can click on the deactivate link right here and the delete link right here. So by default, WordPress installs some of these plugins for you, so you can remove them on your own if you want. And on the left hand side, you should see some additional tabs now that we installed our plugins, and we're going to use these tabs a little bit later as we make our WordPress website. So before we move on to show you how to search for plugins on your own, what I want to do is just download and install some premium plugins that we need to make our WordPress website. So I can provide these to you for free. So what I want you to do instead of paying for them is go to the text tutorial on the NYC Tech Club website on how to make a WordPress website. And on step number 5, where it says install plugins, I have a link to download all of the premium plugins that we need. And I have a license to provide these to you for free. So come over here and just click on this link that says download the zip file and click on that. And once you download that zip file, let's go back to our WordPress website. And what we want to do is install these plugins. So right down here where it says plugins, let's hover over this and click on add new. And once you're on the add plugins page, just click on upload plugin and then click on choose file. And I want you to go to the folder where you just downloaded the premium plugin zip file. So I'm in my downloads folder and I want to open up the folder right here called premium plugins. And you can see in here we have 2 zip files. So we're going to install 2 different premium plugins. The first is our Visual Composer, which is the page builder that we're going to use to create all of our different layouts. And then we're going to install the Revolution slider, which creates the sliders for our home page. So let's click on this one first and then click on choose and then just click on install now. And once the plugin is installed, let's click on the button that says activate plugin. And now you should be redirected to this page right here. And if you do, then we're good to go. And we don't actually need to do anything here. So let's go back to the plugin page and add the Revolution slider plugin. So on the left hand side, hover over plugins and then click on add new again. And once you're back on the add plugins page, again, you're going to click on upload plugin and then click on choose file. And again, you want to go to the folder with the premium plugins. And this time around, we want to select the Revolution slider plugin. So again, it should be a zip file. So once you select that, go ahead and click choose and then click on install now. And once the plugin is installed, let's click on the activate button right here. And once the plugin is activated, you should be brought back to the plugins page. And if we scroll down, you should see the slider Revolution right here and then the WP page builder right here. So if you see both of these, then we are good to go. And the last thing that I want to do in the plugin section is show you how to search for plugins if you want to install some other ones to customize your WordPress website. So what you can do is click on the add new button right here, or you can come down to plugins on the left hand side and click on add new right here. So I'll just click on this. And once you're back on the add plugins page, this is where we went to install our premium plugins just a few minutes ago. And if you want to search for a free WordPress plugin, what you can do is filter by these categories right here, or you can type in a keyword for the type of plugin that you want, and you'll populate some search results down here. And then you can find the plugin that you want, and all you have to do is click on the install now button and then activate the plugin, and then you can use it to customize your WordPress website. So you can add plugins anytime that you want. So we're not going to do anything right now, and we can always come back to this page later if we need to. Okay, so if you are ready, then we are good to go and we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is download and install the demo images that we're going to use for this website tutorial. So you can use your own images if you want, but if you want to use the demo images, what I want you to do is go to the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website for free. And we're going to go down to step number 6, which is going to be download and install the demo images. And what I want you to do is click on this link right here that says download the zip file. So once you click on that, you're going to download a folder, and then we're going to go back to our WordPress website. And now what we're going to do is upload the demo images. So you can also upload your own images if you want. All you have to do is hover over media on the left hand side and then click on add new. And you should come to the upload new media page, and all you're going to do is click on select files, and then you're going to go to where you saved your images. So I'm in the downloads folder, and the zip file that we just downloaded is the empire-images.zip. So if you have a zip file, what you want to do is decompress it or double click it so that it opens up a folder like this. And once you have the folder, we can open this up and you can see all of the demo images right here. So what you can do is click on these one by one and upload them, or you can select them all at once and upload them all together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to select everything, and once everything is selected, I'll just click on the choose button right here, and everything should start uploading. So we can also upload images one by one, and I'll show you how to do that as we make our pages. So let me let everything upload right now, and once it's all done, we'll move on to the next step. And once everything is uploaded, you should see all of your images down here, and if you want to edit these, you can click on the edit links right here to edit each of these images. Or what you can do is go up to the top to where it says media and click on library. And once you're on the media library page, you should see all of your images right here. And I'll show you how to upload images one by one as you make your WordPress pages a little bit later. But if you're on the media library page and you want to edit any of these images, just click on the image that you want to edit and then click on the edit image button right here. And you should see your image right here. And what you can do is select some area of the image and you can crop it by clicking on this button right here. Or you can change the rotation of the image by using these buttons here. And on the right hand side, you can change the size of the image over here. If you do make any changes, make sure that you click on the save button right here. Okay, so we're not going to make any changes to this image, so I'm just going to close out of this. And now we are actually done uploading our demo images for the WordPress website. So we're just going to move on to the next step right now. And now what we're going to do is set our settings for the WordPress website. So what I want you to do is on the left hand side, hover over Empire, and you should get this pop-up, and I want you to click on Theme Options. And once you're on the Theme Options page, this is where you can go to customize your settings, such as your colors and your layouts and everything like that. So what I'll do is just walk you through what we select for the demo WordPress website, and if you need to, you can always pause this video and go through the stuff in more detail on your own. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we're on the General tab, and right here where it says Homepage Title, this is where you can put in the title of your website. So my website is called Design Studio, and if you want to change yours, you can do that. And you can also put in a subtitle, and the title and the subtitle will show up on these tabs on your web browser, and they might also show up on your homepage if you don't have a logo. But we're going to be using a logo for the WordPress website that we're making, so the title and the subtitle don't really show up. They're only going to show up on the tabs on our web browser. Okay, so you can go through these other options. All I want to do is just come down here, and there's this section right here called Back to Top Background Color. So on the demo WordPress website, if I scroll down, you can see that we have this button right here, and this is the Back to Top button, and this is the background color right now. And this is the default background color. If you want to change that background color, what you have to do is click on Select Color, and then you can go in here and select whatever color that you want, or you can change the color code right here. Okay, so I'll leave this as the default, so I'm not going to change anything. And the only other thing I want to talk about in the General tab is the theme color options. So right now, we're using the default options, and on the demo WordPress website, the default options are these baby blue colors. So you can see that we have a darker baby blue, and when I hover over the link, it turns to a lighter baby blue. So you can use that for your WordPress website if you want. Or what you can do is customize these colors for all of your links. If you go into this section and in this drop down, click on Custom, and then you can change the main color and the hover color. All you have to do is go into each one of these, and then you'll get this little pop-up, and you can drag this wheel to whatever color that you want, or click on any of these, or type in a color code for the main color, and then also when you hover over a link. And sometimes you want to have these different, so that's what we do for this website. But again, I want to use the default color, so I'm not going to change anything here, but you can always change this stuff on your own. And you can also get the color codes if you click on Select Color, and you can see the color codes right here. And we'll be using a lot of color codes in this WordPress tutorial. Okay, so if you do make any changes, make sure that you click on the Save Changes button right here. And then once you're ready, let's go to the Heading tab. And once you're on the heading tab, this is where you can go to upload a logo, and I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. So there's really nothing to do here. We're going to leave everything as is. So we can just go to the page tab. And once you're on the page tab, we don't change anything for the demo WordPress website. So if you want, you can pause the video and go through the stuff on your own. Otherwise, let's go to the blog tab. And once you're on the blog page, we're going to be creating a custom blog post page. So you don't really need to do anything here, but I will mention down at the bottom in the single post option section, there is this newsletter option. So if you want to have an opt-in form to let people sign up for your newsletter on your blog posts, what you want to do is click on show right here. Okay, so once you're ready, let's go back up to the top and let's go to the footer tab. And once you're on the footer tab, we're going to skip this section right now, but we'll talk about the copyright towards the end of this video. So right now we can just come down to the social icons, and if you want some social media buttons to show up in your footer, like the demo WordPress website down here, what you want to do is type in the URLs to those pages over here. So you can see I already typed in Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So those are the buttons that are going to show up on the WordPress website that I'm making. So go ahead and type in your URLs. And then once you're ready, come down to the color section. And I'll just talk about what all of these sections are really quickly. So for the footer background color and the copyright background color, let me go to the demo WordPress website. And this is the footer background color, and this is the copyright section. And by default, both of these are this lighter or darker gray color. So what I want to do is change the copyright background color to black. And I'll leave the footer as the default. So I'll go back in here and I'll just go to copyright background color and click on select color and then choose the black color right here. And you can always drag this wheel to select whatever color that you want. And you can always go back to the default options if you click on this button on the right. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on select color. And then for the social icons background color and the hover color, you can see on the demo WordPress website that the background color is a dark gray color. And then when you hover over it, it's this baby blue color. So if you want to customize the background and the hover color, you want to go back into the theme options right here and select whatever color that you want. Okay, so what you can do if you do make any changes is click on save changes right now. Or you can do this at the end after you go through all of your theme options. So once you're ready, let's go to the next tab, which is the typography tab. And once you're on the typography tab, this is where you can go to select the font style that you want for all of your different fonts, and also the font size and the font color. So there's the body font, the paragraph font, and all of your different headings down here. And for the demo WordPress website that we're making, we actually don't change any of the font styles. So if you need to, you can pause the video and go through these on your own. And you can also pause the video and go through all of these different tabs on your own, because pretty much we're done going through our theme options now. So if you need to, you can pause the video and go through this stuff. Otherwise, all I want you to do is make sure that you save everything. So click on the Save Changes button. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make a free logo for your WordPress website. So on the demo WordPress website, we have a logo that we're going to provide to you. But if you want to put in a custom logo, what you want to do is go to a website called logomaker.com. So type in logomaker.com and push enter. And once you're on the Logo Maker website, the first thing that you want to do is get a shaper object for your logo. So you can click on browse all logos right here, or you can type in a keyword right here. So I'll type in compass right here, and you can see that I get a bunch of search results right here. And I'll just click on one of these as an example. And if you want to change the color once it shows up right here, you can use the color wheel right here and just click and drag this to whatever color that you want. So I'll just keep this as black. And if you want, you can also add some text. All you have to do is click on the T right here, and then you can type in whatever you want right here. So I can type in NYC Tech Club, and if I click and drag this, I can move it around to wherever I want. But I actually just want the logo, so I'll delete this. And what I do want you to do is resize your logo once you're ready. So what you have to do is click on it and click on this corner right here and drag this in. And what I recommend that you do is make this 50 by 50 or smaller than that, so that it looks good on your header menu. So that's just a recommendation, but you can make your logo whatever size that you want. And then once you're ready to download your logo, what you want to do is click on this disk right here that says Save Logo. So I'll just show you how to do this right now. So once I have my logo right here, I'll click on Save Logo and I'll get this pop-up, and we want to use option 2. So all we have to do is just click on this gray button that says Download. So click on that and you'll see that you download the logo right here. And then we can just close this and then close this right here. And now we can go back to our WordPress website and upload our logo. So if you need to, since I went a little fast right here, is pause the video and create whatever logo that you want and place your logo and your text wherever you want, and then resize it and download it. And then once you're ready, push play. And then we're going to go back to our theme options page on the WordPress dashboard and upload our logo. All right, and welcome back. If you pause this video to make your free logo for your WordPress website, and now you should be back on your WordPress dashboard. So if you're not on the theme options page right here, just hover over Empire and then click on theme options, and you should come to this page. And to upload your logo, all you have to do is click on the header tab right here, and then come to this section that says logo, and then click on the upload button right here. And what we want to do is click on the upload files tab on the upper left, and then click on select files and go to the folder where you downloaded your logo, and then click on that logo and then click choose. And now you should see the logo in your media library, and once it's selected, go ahead and click on select right here, and now you should see your logo inserted right here. So now what you want to do is click on save changes. And once the settings are saved, you have just inserted your logo onto your WordPress website. All right, so I'm going to remove this because I want to use the default logo, but you don't have to do this if you want to keep your custom logo. So let me just click save right here, just so that I make sure that I save my changes. And what I want to do before we move on to the next step is just show you how to add a favicon. So on some web browsers, you can see your logo on the left-hand side over here, or where your URL is over here. And that's called a favicon or site icon. So if you want to insert that into your WordPress website also, what you want to do is hover over appearance on the left-hand side and click on customize. And once you're on the customize page, all you have to do is click on site identity right here. And right here where it says site icon, this is where you can add your logo. Just click on select image and then select the logo, and that's how you're going to add the favicon. Just make sure that you click on the blue button at the top to save your changes. Okay, so we're not going to add a favicon to our demo WordPress website, but if you want to, this is how you would do it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next step. So first, let's go back to our WordPress dashboard by clicking on the X right here. And now what we're going to do is modify our permalinks for our WordPress website. So first we're going to add the www dot in front of our URL, and then we're going to change the permalinks for our pages and posts. So if you want to do this on your WordPress dashboard, come down to settings on the left-hand side and hover over that, and then click on general. And once you're on the general settings page, the first thing that I want to do is come down to where it says tagline, and I want to remove this. And you can replace it if you want, but I'll just delete it. And then we can come down to where it says WordPress address and site address. And all we have to do is go in here and type in www dot in front of our website name. So make sure that you do that and don't change anything else. And then once you're ready, just come down to the bottom and then click on the Save Changes button. And what's going to happen is you're going to get logged out, and for security purposes, you're going to be asked to log back in. So type in your username and password, and once you're ready, click on the login button. And once you're logged back into your WordPress dashboard, now what we're going to do is modify our permalinks. So on the left-hand side, hover over settings, and this time around, click on permalinks. And once you're on the permalink settings page, what you want to do is select the permalink settings that you want for your pages and posts. So the one that I recommend is this one right here called post name. So if you want, select that one or select whichever one that you want. And once you're ready, come down to the bottom and click Save Changes. And once the settings are updated, we are good to go and we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is make the first page for the WordPress website. So to make a new page, what you can do is hover over the plus button at the top and click on page, or on the left-hand side of your WordPress dashboard, you can hover over pages and click on add new. And once you're on the add new page, the first page that we're going to make is the WordPress homepage. So the first thing that we have to do is put in a page title right here. So let's just type in home, and once you're ready, come down to the page options section over here, and then come down to the bottom to where it says disable page title, and I want you to check this box to disable the page title. And once you do, you should see the second section right here called transparent header. And if you want to turn on the transparent header, you want to select this box right here. So I'm going to check both of these boxes, and then once you're ready, let's go back up to the top and let's publish this page right now. So click on publish. And once the page is published, before we start making the home page, let's go and set the home page in our WordPress settings. So on the left-hand side, hover over settings and then click on reading. And once you're on the home page, come to where it says your home page displays and select the second option right here called a static page. And right here where it says home page, go into this drop down and select the home page that you just made. And we're going to leave the post page blank over here because we're going to create a custom blog post page a little bit later, so we don't need to set this page. So once you're ready, just come down to the bottom and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is create our slider for our WordPress homepage. So on the demo WordPress website, you can see right here what we're going to do is create a full page slider with a headline, subheadline, and a button right here. And you can always customize this to look however you want and add some additional stuff if you want also. So if you want to make the slider for your WordPress homepage, what I want you to do on the left-hand side is come down to where it says Slider Revolution and hover over that and then click on Slider Revolution. So this is the Slider Revolution, which is a premium plugin that we're going to use to make our slider for the WordPress website. And you don't need to activate this plugin to use it, but if you want to, there is a link in the dashboard and also in the video description. And what we're going to do is just go over some of the details of how to use the Slider Revolution. If you want a full tutorial on how to use this plugin, there is a video tutorial on the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel, and we'll also be updating that video on how to use the Slider Revolution plugin. So make sure that you subscribe to the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do to create your slider for your homepage is you want to come to this button right here that says New Slider and click on this. And now you should be on the slider settings page for the new slider, and we're not going to make too many changes to the settings, but you can always play around with this stuff on your own. So for the content source, we'll leave this as the default slider. And then in the second section, what we want to do is name our slider. So we'll name it homepage, and then for the alias name, we'll type in the same thing. And what that's going to do is generate a short code that we're going to copy and paste into our homepage a little later to insert our slider. And then for the slider type, we'll leave it as the standard slider. And then for the slide layout, what I want you to do is come down to the section below where you can see it says desktop, notebook, tablet, and mobile device. And what we want to do is turn on the custom grid sizes over here. So for the notebook, let's turn this on. And then for the tablet device, let's turn this on, and then do the same with the mobile device. And what this is going to do is allow us to create a slider that's going to be responsive and look good on all of these different devices. So if you want to go into more detail about the settings on the Slider Revolution, you can always check out the video on the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel on how to use the Slider Revolution. We don't have time to go through all of the details, and we don't really need to in this WordPress tutorial, but if you want to learn all about the Slider Revolution, you can check out that video on the YouTube channel. Okay, so once you're ready, come back to the top, and what we want to do is click on this green button up here that says Save Settings. And now you should be on the Slide Editor tab, and what we're doing right now is making our first slider image, and at the end of this section, I'll talk about how you can add some additional images to your slider. For this demo WordPress website that we're making, we're just going to have one image for our slider. So once you're on this tab, come down to where it says main background, and you should see these different sources for your background. And what we're going to use is the main/background image options. So select this one. And if you want to go through these other ones, you can always check out the YouTube video on the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel on how to use the Slider Revolution plugin. Okay, so once you select this option, go ahead and click on this button right here that says Media Library, and you should get this pop-up. If you want to upload your own image for your slider, click on Upload Files, and then click on Select Files, and then find that image that you want to upload. If you want to use the demo content, stay on the Media Library tab, and then just find the slider.jpg. So that's this image right here. And these images might be the same, they might be a little different because most of these images that I use for this demo WordPress website are copywritten. So I might have to change them just a little bit, but it shouldn't really matter since you're making your own WordPress website with your own content and images. So once you find the slider.jpg and it's checked right here, that means that it's selected. All we have to do is click on this insert button right here. And now the background image should get inserted right here. And this is the preview section and also where you're going to go to customize your slider. So to do that, we're going to add a few different layers, and we'll also use some of these buttons up here to customize our slider also. And you can see right here, there are a few different icons for different devices, and we'll go through these a little bit later, but just as an overview, right now the slider is showing you a preview of what it looks like on the desktop. If you click on this icon right here, it's going to show you what the slider is going to look like on a laptop, and then for the tablet and mobile device. And we'll go into each one of these and customize the layout of our slider to make sure that it's responsive and it looks good on all of these different devices. Okay, so just really quickly as a reminder, on the demo WordPress website, for our slider, we're going to have a headline, a subheadline, and then a button that's going to link to another page or section on our WordPress website. And you can always customize these colors, including the hover button color right here. Okay, so back on our WordPress website, the first thing that we're going to do is add our headline text. So to do that, what I want you to do is hover over the button that says Add Layer, and then click on Text HTML. And now you should see this text box right here. And the first thing that we're going to do is come in here and delete the sample text and type in our headlines. So I'll type in simplified, and you can type in whatever you want. And now what we're going to do is change the font style. So if you want to do that, come to this drop down right here, and then just go in here and select whatever type of font that you want. If you want to be consistent with the demo WordPress website, you want to select the Arial Helvetica font because this is what we use by default. And now you can drag this around and place this text wherever you want. And we can also do that a little bit later. So first, let's change the font size. So again, whenever you customize the layer right here, you want to make sure that you select it. So just make sure that you click on it. And to change the font size, come over here to where it says font size, and we can just delete this and type in 110 px, and that's going to increase the font size. And then I want to change the font weight, so in this drop down right here, I'll select 700. And then if you wanted to change the font color, what you can do is click on the color pad right here and then just change the color to whatever you want. And once you're ready, just click on the check mark right here. But we're going to leave this white, so I'm not going to change this. So I'll just close out of this. And all I want to do right now is just center this. So you can eyeball it and just click and drag it wherever you want. Or what you can do is use these buttons over here to align it to wherever you want. So first I'll click on Layer Align Center, and then I'll do Layer Align Middle. So right now the text is in the center of my slider. But I have two other layers that I'm going to create for the subheadline and the button. So I'm going to eyeball this and move it up a little bit. So I'll just place it right here. And I want to make sure that it's centered though. So I'll click on Layer Align Center again. And it didn't move it around, so it is centered. And the last thing that I'll mention about this layer or any other layer is that you can change the animation. So when the slider loads, this layer loads also. So if you want to change the animation for this layer, just click on the layer and then go to the animation tab, and then you can change the type of animation that you have for the layer to load. So we can click on any of these. So I'll just click on this one, and you can see a preview of the layer of how it's going to load. So by default, we use the one that's called fade in, and I'll just keep that one. And you can see that it's a pretty simple animation. Okay, so we're just going to leave that as is. And now what I want to do is add our second layer, which is the subheadline below. So again, what we're going to do is go back to the add layer button over here, and we're going to add another text layer. So click on text HTML, and now you should see another text box right here. And if you need to, click on the style tab right here so that you see all of these options, because if you click on any of these other ones, you can see the options change, and you have to go back to the style tab so that we can change the font size and everything. So again, if you need to, double click on the layer that you're customizing, and what we want to do is change the text here for our subheadline. So I'll delete this and type in professionally designed, and this time around I'm going to leave the font style as Open Sans. So if you want, you can click and drag it wherever you want. So we'll move this to the right spot in just a little bit. But first, what I want to do is change the font size for this subheadline. So up here where it says font size, I'm going to delete this, and I'll type in 26px and just push enter, and you can see that the font size increases a little bit. And I'm going to change the font weight to 600. So in this drop down, I'll select 600, and I want to just eyeball this a little bit and place it right below the headline. So I'll put it right over here, and then I'm going to click on the align center button right here just to make sure that it's centered, and I'm pretty happy with that. So once you're ready, let's add our button layer. Oh, and before I forget, you can always click on this layer and then change the animation also if you want. And you can play around with these other settings also. We again go into more detail about this stuff in the tutorial video on the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel on how to use the slider revolution. All right, so we're going to leave everything as is with the animation. So let's go ahead and add the last layer, which is going to be a button for the slider. So let's hover over the add layer button right here, and let's click on button this time. And you should get this pop-up right here with all of these different button designs, and what you want to do is select the button that you want to use. So this is the one that we want, so click on this, and you should see the button show up right here, and we can move it down here just a little bit. And the first thing that we want to do is change the text inside. So double click it, and then just change the text right here. So I'll type in learn more. And then what I want to do is change the font style. So I'll go into this drop down right here, and I'll just select Arial Helvetica, and you can select whatever you want. And then what I want to do is come over here and just change the font weight to 700. If you want to change the font color, you can do that right here, but we're going to leave that as white for this demo. Okay. So once you're ready, what I want you to do now is come over here to where it says style and click on this down arrow, and it's going to expand this section right here so that we can customize our button a little bit more. And on the right hand side, you can see it says idle and hover. So there's two different options here. Idle is when you have your button and you're not hovered over it with the mouse, and then hover is what the button looks like when you have your mouse over the button. So we can customize the look and feel for both of these options. So first, let's go to the idle option. So make sure that idle is selected, and we'll go through these together. So we're not going to do anything with the font tab. So click on the background tab right here. And what I want to do is change the background color to transparent. So I'll click on color right here, and you can select any background color that you want, or use this wheel and drag it around. Or you can put in a color code if you wanted to, but all I want to do is just change the opacity to 0%. So if I drag this all the way to the bottom, you can see the opacity changes right here. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on the check right here. And now you can see that the button has no background color and it's transparent. Okay, So if you want that, go ahead and do the same thing. And we're not going to do anything in the Spaces tab right here, but I want you to click on Border right here. And what I want to do for the idle button is add a white border. So I'll click on the color button right here and then select white and then click on the green check mark. And I want it to be a solid border, so I won't change this right here. And what you have to do is put in a border width. Right now it's at 0, so I want to type in 1 for all of these. And what that's going to do is give it a border width for the top, bottom, right, and left. And we're not going to change anything with the border radius, so I believe we are done customizing the idle button. So we can always come back to this if we need to. So now let's click on the hover link right here and customize this look. So right now you can see that when you hover over it, the font turns black and the background color turns white. So I want to change this stuff a little bit. So right here on the font tab, I want to change the font color to white. So I'll click on the color button right here and just click on the white button and then click on the check mark. And now you can't see the font because it's white and the background color is also white when you hover over it. So I'll go into the background tab right here and then click on the color button right here, and you can select whatever background color that you want. And if you change your primary color in the theme options section for your WordPress website, then I suggest that you use that color. So if you need to, you can go back to your theme options and get that color code. And if you're using the default color like I am, what you want to do is type in a color code right here. So for the default color, type in #0FB5E5. And once I click out of that, you can see that it turns to the sky blue color right here. And this is the default color on the Empire theme. Okay, so once you're ready, go ahead and click on the check mark right here. And now we can go to the border tab, and I want to put in the same color code. So I'll just paste in #0FB5E5 for the default color. And you can put in whatever you want or select whatever color that you want for the border. And once you're ready, click on the green check mark and then just come here and change the border width to 1px for all of these. And pretty much once we do that, we are done customizing our button. So what I'm going to do is just close this. And the last thing that we have to do before we drag this around is we want to link the button to another page. So to do that, we're going to click on the Action tab right here. And to link our button to another page, what we want to do is click on the plus button right here. And in this first drop down, you can select the action. So we want to go with a mouse click. And then in this second drop down right here, this is where you can choose the action or what's going to happen when someone clicks on that button. So there's a bunch of different options, and we just want to choose the simple link option. And what we're going to do is type in the URL for the page that we're going to link this button to. And we're going to link the button to the About page that we're going to make a little bit later. So I already know what the URL is going to be, so we can type it in right now. And you can always update this link a little bit later if you want on your own. So let's type in http://www.your website So I'll type in howtowebtutorials.com/about. So that's going to link this button to the About page. And once you're ready, you can click out of it. And now what we can do is go back to the Style tab right here. And let's just drag this to wherever we want. So let's place it over here. And if you want to, you can click on the button to align it to the center just to make sure that it's centered. And now we have our slider for our WordPress website. And before we make this responsive with all of these different devices, what I want you to do is come up to the top and click on the green button to save everything. And once the slider is saved, now what we can do is click on these different icons to see what the slider looks like for these different devices. And if we need to, we can make any adjustments to the layout so that the slider is responsive. So first, let's click on the laptop, and you can see that the grid line changes just a little bit, but the layout looks pretty good. So I don't need to make any changes to the laptop. And if I click on the tablet device, the same thing, the layout looks pretty good. So I don't need to make any changes here, but you can if you want. And if you do make any changes when you click on these different icons, just remember that it's going to change just the layout for that specific device. So if I click on the mobile device, you can see that the headline is a little too large right here. So what I want to do is shrink the headline for the mobile device. So I'll click on this layer and then just go into the font size and change this to 80px. And you can see that it shrinks the headline just a little bit. And if I wanted to, I could adjust this up and just click to align center. And that's pretty much how you make your slider responsive, by going to these different devices and modifying the layout if you need to, so that you can see everything inside these grid lines, because pretty much the grid lines are the screen size for these different devices. Okay, so I'm going to click back on the desktop, and I made some changes to the mobile device right here. So what you want to do if you change the layout for any of these is click on the green button to save the changes. And once your slider is saved, the last thing that I'm going to do is talk to you about how to add some additional slider images. So if you want to have a slider with more than one image, what you want to do to add some additional images is hover over the plus button right here and then click on add blank slide. And then you're going to go through the same steps of adding a new background image, and then come down here and add all of your different layers. And if you want to do that more than once, you can just click on the plus button and add a new blank slide over and over again. And once you're done, just make sure that you click on the green save slide button right here to update your slider. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is how to transition between the different images on your slider. So what you can do is go back to your slider settings right here. And once you're on the slider settings page, if you want to customize the transitions between your different slider images, come to where it says General Settings and click and expand this, and then go to the Defaults tab. And right here where it says Default Slide Duration, right now this is set to 9,000 milliseconds. So what that means is that your visitors are going to stay on each slider image for 9 seconds before it transitions to the next slider image. If you want, you can speed this up by changing the number of milliseconds that you stay on each slider image. And if you want to change the transitions that you have between your different slider images, you can check this box right here next to transitions, and then go into this drop down and then select whatever type of transition that you want. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck this, and I'm not going to make any changes here since we only have one slider image. But if you want, you can pause the video and add some additional slider images if you want, and then come in here and change your transitions. And then once you're ready, make sure that you click on the green button right here to save your changes, and then push play, and we'll move on to the next step. So now what we're going to do is start customizing the home page on the WordPress website. So what we have to do is go back to the home page that we created a little earlier. So on the left hand side, hover over Pages and then click on All Pages. And once you're on the Pages page, you can see a list of all the pages that you have right here. And by default, WordPress creates this sample page for us. So let's delete this really quickly by clicking on the trash link right here. And once the sample page is moved to your trash, if you want to empty your trash can, you can click on the link right here and do that on your own. But we're just going to move on and start customizing the home page. So what we want to do is go back to the edit home page. So hover over the page that you created right here and then click on the edit link. And once you're on the edit page, the first thing that we're going to do is turn on our page builder. So there's two options here, the front end and the back end. And I like to use the back end, so click on that and you should see the page builder show up right here. And what we're going to do is click on this plus button, and we're going to add a few different rows and a bunch of different elements to create our custom layout for the WordPress homepage. So if I go to the demo website, the first thing that we're going to do is insert our slider. So back on the homepage that we're making right now, what I want you to do is click on the plus button right here, and you should see a bunch of different options. So these are called elements, and you can add whatever you want to your WordPress page. And you're going to become very familiar with a lot of these, but you can always play around with these on your own and just click on them and insert them and see if you like them. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is add a new row. So click on row, and you can see that the row gets inserted right here. And what I want to do is just go and edit the row layout really quickly. So click on the pencil on the upper right, and you should see the row settings pop up right here. And all I want to do is go into where it says row stretch, and go in here and select stretch row and content with no paddings. So what that's going to do is make the row go from one side all the way to the other, so that my slider that I insert shows up as a full page slider. And if you wanted to, you can go to the design options and add some different margins and all that stuff, but we'll do this a little bit later so you'll become familiar with it. Right now, all I want you to do is add the stretch row in content with no paddings, and then we can click on save changes. And once that's saved, now what I want to do is add an element here to insert our slider. So click on the plus button inside this row and come down to where it says Revolution Slider 5, or whatever the most recent number is, or the highest number, and then click on this. And what you're going to do is select the slider that you just created. So mine is this one right here called Homepage. So I'll select this, and then I can just click on this button that says Add Selected Slider. And you should see the slider get inserted right here. And if you ever want to edit this element, just hover over it and click on the pencil right here. And if you want to save your changes right now to the home page, go ahead and click on the update button right here. And I'll just wait until we're done making this page to click on this. And if you want to see what your home page looks like now that you inserted the slider, go ahead and click on preview changes, and that's going to open up a new tab. And if we go to it, it should load your WordPress homepage right here. And you can see that the slider is inserted, and if we scroll down, you shouldn't see anything else because we haven't added anything to our homepage yet. Okay, so I'm going to close this tab, and what I want to do is just go to the demo WordPress website and show you the next section that we're going to make. So we're going to add a new row for this about section, and then we'll put in some text, a button, and then an image right here. So if you want to make this, go back to your WordPress homepage, and the first thing that we're going to do is add a new row underneath the slider. So click on this big plus button right here, and you should get this pop up, and go ahead and click on the row element right here, and you can see that a row gets inserted. And before we change anything to the row settings, I want to go to this tab right here on the left hand side, and you can see that you get this pop up. And what this does is it lets you split up the row into different columns. So if I clicked on the second one, you can see that the row changes to 2 halves. And what I want to do for this row is come in here and click on the custom link, and I'll get this pop up right here. And you can see if you select this big button right here, it's just going to give you 1 row. And if I select this one, it's going to give me 3 halves. And what I want to do is put in a custom layout option. So I'll paste in 4x12 plus 8x12, and watch what happens once I click on the update button. It splits up the row, so there's a smaller one right here and then a larger row right here. So if you want the same layout as the demo WordPress website, go ahead and put in this custom option and then click on the update button. If you want a different row layout, you can select any of these options. Okay, and once you're ready, let's just click on the X right here. And let's edit the row settings. So on the right hand side, click on the pencil, and you should see this pop up right here. And we're going to leave everything as the default in the general tab, but let's go to the design options tab and click on that. And what we're going to do is put in 0px for the bottom margin. So this is where your element is, and you can add some spacing right here between the element and the border. So this is called padding. And then right here between the border and your element, you can also add some spacing. And then on the opposite side of the border is the margin, and you can add some spacing there too. And I think by default it adds 20 or 50 px. So what we're doing by putting in 0px is just closing the distance between the margin and the element. And this is going to help us with the next row where the content shows up. So go ahead and put in 0px right here, and then click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add our first element on the left hand side. So let's click on the plus button right here, and you should see this pop up. And what I want to do is add a heading element. So find that and go ahead and click on that. And you should see this pop up right here. And what we're going to do is put in our title for this row. So on the demo WordPress website, this is my title right here. So I'll just copy this to save some time, and then I'll paste that in right here. So go ahead and type in whatever you want. And once you do type something in, you'll notice that you get this section right here called title size. And you can go in here and select the font size that you want for your title. So I want to select H3 right here. And if you want, you can add a subtitle, but we're not going to do that. But if you do that, you can always edit the text with these buttons right here. And also you can click on toolbar toggle to get this second row, and you can change the color and all that stuff right here. Okay, so let's just go down to this section right here called heading style. And I want to change this to style 1. And if you want, you can play around with these to see the different styles. And for the heading alignment, I want to select left. And if you want to change the text color for your title, go into color style and click on custom, and then you can change the color right here. You can just drag this wheel, and there should be some color boxes down here. So I'm going to clear this, and what I want to do is just leave the default color for my title. But again, you can play around with this stuff on your own. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add our text below this. So right down here, click on this plus button, and the element that we want to add now is a text block. So once you find that, go ahead and click on that, and you should get this pop up for the text block right here, and it should have some default text, so we can delete this and then just type in your about description right here. So what I'll do is just paste in the same text from the demo WordPress website, and once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should have your text right here, and you can always go back in here and edit this by clicking on the pencil right here. So let me just come down here, and the last thing that we're going to do is add this button over here, and then we'll add an image on the right hand side. So back on the WordPress page that we're making, let's click on the button again. And once you get this pop up, the element that you want is this button right here. So make sure that you click on the one with the Empire theme logo. So click on this, and you should see this pop up right here. And what we're going to do is put in the text for our button right here. So my button is going to say About Us. And then what you have to do is put in your URL right here for the button. So click on Select URL. And what you can do is type in your URL right here for the page that you want to link to. Or down here, there will be a list of all the pages that you've made. So you can just select the one that you want to link to. But we don't have any other pages right now. And if you want to update the URL later, what you want to do right now is just type in a # like this. And that's going to make the button show up, and you can always come back in here and update the URL a little bit later. So if you want to type in the URL for the About page that we're going to make a little bit later, type in http://www. your website name. So I'll type in howtowebtutorials.com/about. And if you want to open up this link in a new tab, you can click on this box right here, but we're not going to do that. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Set Link, and you should see the URL right here. And once you do, go ahead and come down to Alignment. We're going to select the left option right here. And if you want to change the background color for your button and the color when you hover over it, go into where it says Color Style and click on the Custom option. And then you have some options over here for the text color, the color of the text when you hover over the button, and then the background color, and then the background color when you hover over the button. Okay, but again, for my WordPress website, I like to use the default colors, so I'll just keep the default option right here. And once you're ready, let's click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is just add an image on the right hand side. So click on the plus button right here and find the single image element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, what we're going to do is come to where it says Image Source, and we're going to leave it as the media library, and then click on the plus button right here. And you should get this pop up with your media library with all of the demo content. If you want to upload your own image, click on Upload Files, and then click on Select Files and find the image that you want to upload. If you want to use the demo content, make sure that you're on the Media Library tab and just find this image right here, which is the section-image.png. And once you select it, you should see this check mark right here. We can click on Set Image. And now you should see the image show up right here. And if you ever want to remove it, you can click on the X right here and then add another image. Okay, so now let's come down here to where it says image size, and you can select the size of the image by putting in different text right here. So there's thumbnail, medium, large, and full. And what I want to do is remove thumbnail and type in large. And then we're just going to come down here and we want to leave the image alignment as left, and we're not going to change anything else. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we are done with the About section. So what we can do is, again, come up here and click on the Update button to save all of our changes if you want. Or you can click on the Preview Changes button just to check out what the About page looks like now. So it's going to open up a new tab and we can go to it and your WordPress website should load. And if we scroll down, you should see the About section right here. So if you see this, then we are good to go, and I can close out of this. And we're going to go back to the demo WordPress website and just show you the next section that we're going to make. So we're going to make the services section right here with some thumbnails that we can link to different pages on our WordPress website and have this button also. So if you want to make this section on the home page, let's go back to our WordPress page that we're making and come down to the bottom, and let's click on the plus button to add a new row. And find the row element and click on that. And what we're going to do is come and click on the pencil to edit the row. And once the row settings pop up, in the row stretch, I want to go in here and select stretch row. And there are different options, and I just chose the one that I think works best for this row. So you can always select whichever one that you want. And then I want to go to the design options tab. And what I want to do is put in a background color. If you look at the demo WordPress website, you can see that this row has a light gray color. So I need to add that background color. So on the home page that we're making, in the design options, there are a few different options here. If you come to background and click on select color, what you can do is drag this wheel and select whatever color that you want to make or have, or you can put in a color code right here. So the color code that I want to put in is the # F4 F4 F4, and you can see that it's a light gray color right here. So go ahead and type this in or put in whatever color code that you want, or drag this wheel around and find whatever color that you like. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add our title right here. So click on the plus button and find the heading element right over here and click on that. And you should see this pop up, and all we're going to do is type in our title right here. So I'll type in our services. And this time around, I want to leave the title size as H2. And if you want to change the color, you can over here. We're going to leave the heading style as style 2 for this one, so we don't need to make any changes here. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add a row inside this row for our services section. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And you should see the row get inserted inside this row. And what I want to do is hover over the icon on the left-hand side and change the number of columns that I have for this row. So I want to select this one right here, which is 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. And once I click on that, you can see that we have 3 different boxes right here. So what we're going to do is put a service icon in each of these. So let's click on the plus button right here. And once you get this pop up, go ahead and click on the services icon right here. And once you see the services settings, what we're going to do is come to the title and just type a title in. So I'll type in designs, and then for my subtitle, I'll type in everything handmade. And then what I want you to do is come down here, and if you want, you can add an icon by clicking on the down arrow right here. And there's a bunch of different icons that you can search from, or what you can do, like the demo WordPress website, is add an image. So if we click on the plus button right here, and you should see the media library right here. And if you want, you can upload your own files by clicking on the Upload Files tab. If you want to use the demo content, just stay in the Media Library tab. And this is the image that I want. And again, this is going to be the background image for our services button. So this is work2.jpg, so you can just find that. And once you click on it, you should see this check mark. And then we can click on Set Image. And once the image shows up, if you want to put in a URL right here to link the button to another page, go ahead and click on Select URL and then type in your URL right here. I'm not going to link the button, so I'll leave this blank, but again, you can do this on your own. And if you want to change the overlay color, so when someone hovers over this button, you can do that right here. And same with the icon color if you're using an icon instead of a background image. Okay, so once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And once that's saved, this is how you create a service icon for the services section. So we can do this a few more times, so I'll just do it really quickly. So let's click on the plus button. And again, what we want to do is click on the service element. And once you get this pop-up, we can just type in our title. So I'll type in strategy. And then for my subtitle, I'll type in research centric. And again, you can add an icon, a URL, and then a background image if you want. So all I'll do is just add an image. So I'll click on the plus button right here. And in my media library, I'll just click on this image right here, which is a service.jpg, and then click set image. And once that's uploaded right here, if you want, you can change the overlay color or the icon color. And then once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And we can do this one more time for the third service. So let's click on the plus button and then add a service element. And then we can add our title right here. So I'll type in marketing this time. And then for my subtitle, I'll put in global outreach. And then I'll just come down here and add an image. So click on the plus button and then find the image that you want. So the one that I want is down at the bottom over here. So I'll just click on this and then click on set image. And then we can just click on Save Changes if you don't want to change the overlay color. And again, I want to use the default colors. So I can just click on this button right here. And now we have just added our services section right here. So the last thing that I want to do is just add a button for this row, and then we can go and check out what it looks like. So again, click on the small plus button down here. And what we want to do is add a button. So click on the one that has the Empire theme logo right here. And once you get this pop up, we can just type in the button title right here. So I'll type in learn more, and I'm going to link this button to the about page. So I'll click on select URL and just type in the URL for the about page that we're going to make a little bit later. So it's http://www.yourwebsitename, so howtowebtutorials.com/about. And you can always put in the £sign and update this later if you want. And there's other options right here to open up the link in a new tab if you want to check this box. Okay, so once you're ready, click on set link and you should see the URL appear right here. And we're going to leave the alignment as centered right here. And if you want to change the colors for your button, you can do that right here by going into this drop down and selecting the custom option. But again, we're going to go with the default colors. Okay, so once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we are done with the services row. So if you want, you can click on the update button to save all of your changes. And if you want to see what your WordPress website looks like, click on the preview changes button, and then we can go to the new tab. And once your WordPress website loads, this is what it should look like. So if we come down to the bottom, you should see the services section right here. And if we hover over these icons, you should get this hover color or whatever color that you chose. And we should have our button down here. All right. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. And now what we can do is go back to the demo WordPress website. And the next section that we're going to make is another about section. So I'm going to show you how to make this really quickly. So back on the home page, and what we can do is click on the plus button right here to add a new row and then create our layout for this section. Or if you want to save some time, come back up to the about section that we made a little earlier, and we can just make a copy of this row because it's the same exact layout. And then we can go into these elements and just edit them to save some time. So if you want to make a copy of this row that you have from before, just hover over this button on the upper right, and it should say clone this row. And if you click on it, it's going to make an exact copy of the row right below. And what you can do is just click on this button on the left hand side and just drag it to wherever you want to place it. So if I just drag it down here, you can see that I can just throw it in, and now it places it right below the services section. And then you can hover over these elements and click on the pencils and edit all this stuff. And for the demo WordPress website, we just leave this stuff the same. So I'm not going to edit anything on the left hand side, but I will edit the image right here. So what I'll do is click on the pencil, and once I get the settings pop up right here, I'll just click on the X to delete that image, and then click on the plus button right here, and I should get the media library. And I'm just going to select this image right here, which is a large image.png. And again, you can always upload your own images if you click on this tab on the upper left. And so once you find the image that you want, just click on Set Image. And then we can just click on Save Changes right here. And the only other thing that I want to do for this row is go and edit the row so that I can add some padding and a background color. So I can hover over the pencil right here and click on this. And once you have the row settings, go into the row stretch and select stretch row, and then go into the design options tab, and you should see 0px for the bottom margin. And I want to type in 0px for the bottom padding right here. And once I do that, all I want to do is add a background color for this row. So on the demo WordPress website, you can see that this row has a baby blue color. So if you want the same color, we're going to go back to our WordPress homepage and just click on Select Color and type in this color code right here. It's $ECF2F4, and that gives you this baby blue color. And you can always go in here and select whatever color that you want for this row. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we have just created our second About section right here. So now we can move on to the next section. So on the demo WordPress website, the next section that we're going to make is the blog post section. So we don't have any blog posts right now, but we can add this row into our homepage and create our blog post a little bit later. So if you want to make this, let's go back to our homepage. And the first thing that we want to do is add a new row. So click on the plus button down here and find the row element and click on that, and you should see the row get inserted right here. And I want to go to the row settings. So click on the pencil, and once the row settings pop up, go into row stretch and select stretch row, and then go to the design options tab. And all I want to do here is add a background color. So on the demo WordPress website, this row has a vanilla color. So if you want this same color, I'll show you the color code to add. So back on the home page, just click on Select Color and then type in this color code, which is the $F4F4F4. Okay, and once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And now what I want to do is add a heading right here for our title for this section. So click on the plus button and then find the heading element. So that's this one right here, and click on that. And now what we want to do is put in our title for this section. So click on the plus button and find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, we can type in our title right here. So I'll type in latest news. And for the title size, I'll leave this as H2. And if we scroll down to the bottom to the heading alignment, we're going to leave this as centered. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we're just going to insert an element for our blog post. So click on the plus button. And the element that we want to find is the blog post. So click on this. And once the blog post settings pop up, if you want to show the most recent blog posts, what you want to do is go into the first drop down and select ID. And if you want to show more than 3 blog posts on the home page, you can change the number right here. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should see the blog post widget right here. And you can always go back in here and edit this. So again, as a reminder, if you want to save all of your changes right now, go ahead and click on the update button right here. And then if you want to see the changes on your homepage, you can click on this button right here. But since we don't have any blog posts right now, this section is going to look a little empty. But again, we're going to go and write some blog posts a little bit later. So right now, let's go ahead and add the next section. So what I want to do is go to the demo WordPress website. And let me just come down here and show you the next section. So we're going to create the testimonial section on the home page now. So let's go back to our home page. And the first thing that we want to do is come down to the bottom and add a new row. So let's click on the plus button right here and then come up to the top and click on the row element. And once we have our row right here, let's go and edit the row. So let's click on the pencil. And once the row settings pop up, just go to where it says row stretch, and in this drop down, select stretch row. And that's all we have to do for this row. So we can click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add the title for this row. So right here, click on the plus button in the middle and find the heading element right here and click on that. And once you get this pop up, go ahead and type in your title right here. So again, this is for the testimonial section. So what I'm going to type in is what our clients are saying. And I'll leave the title size as H2. And if you want to come down here, you want to make sure that it's the heading style 2, and we want to align this to the center. So these should be the default settings, and once you're ready, we can just click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is insert a row inside this row for our testimonials. So hover over the small plus button and click on that, and then find the row element and click on that, and you should see the row get inserted right below the heading element. And I want to change this to 4 columns. So hover over this icon on the left hand side and find the one that has 4 columns, or if you hover over it, it says 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, and click on that. And you'll notice that we get 4 boxes here. And what we're going to do is insert a testimonial element into each one of these. And if you want more rows of testimonials, you can just add some additional rows on your own. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add a testimonial into each of these boxes. So let's start on the left hand side and click on this big plus button right here. And what I want you to do is find the single testimonial element. So that's this one on the right hand side, and click on that. And now you should see this pop up right here. And to add a testimonial, the first thing that you can do is put in the image right here. So if we click on this plus button, we should see the media library right here, and this has all of our demo content. And if you want to upload your own images, go ahead and click on the Upload Files tab. So I want to use this image for the first testimonial. So I'll click on this, and this is a testimonial.jpg. So once I select it, it has this check mark right here, and I'll just click on Set Image. And you should see the image right here. And if you ever want to replace this, just click on the X right here, and then click on the plus button right here, and then add the new image that you want to use. And once you're ready, come down to the text box right here, and this is where you're going to type in your testimonial. So what I'll do is just paste in a quote from the demo WordPress website right here. And then what you can do is put in the name for the person that's giving the testimonial right here. So I'll type in Vanessa Carter right here, and I'll just give her a title of VP of Strategy right here. And once you're ready, all we have to do is click on Save Changes. And you should see the testimonial right here. And if you want to edit this, just click on the pencil. And if you want to make a copy of this, you can click on this icon right here. So what I want you to do is click on the plus button for these other boxes, and then add a single testimonial element, and then you can add your testimonial to these boxes right here. So go ahead and pause the video and add your testimonials, and then push play once you're ready. And what we'll do is create the last section in this home page. So I'll do the same and add 3 different testimonials right here, and I'll see you once you're ready to add the last section on our home page. All right, and welcome back. So if you pause this video to create some additional testimonials, you should see them right here. And if you need to, go ahead and click on the update button to save all of your changes. And once you're ready, we're going to move on to the last step in making our home page. So let me just show you on the demo WordPress website. What we're going to do right now is create a call to action that looks just like this. So let's go back to our home page if you want to create that call to action. And the first thing that we're going to do is add a new row. So let's click on the big plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And you should see the row get inserted right here. So let's go and click on the pencil to edit this row. And once the row settings pop up, let's go into this first drop down and just click on Stretch Row, and then go to the Design Options tab. And what I want to do is type in 0px for the bottom margin, and then go into the background color, and I want to put in a baby blue background color code. So what I'll do is just type in this color code right here, which is the #00A9DA. And again, all of my color codes are in my text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website on the NYC Tech Club website. And again, there's a link to this page in the video description. So if you want the same color code that I have right here, go ahead and type that in. And then once you're ready, let's click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is put in our call to action right here. So you can see on the demo WordPress website, the call to action says ready to get the ball rolling. So let me just copy this really quickly so I can paste that in and go back to the home page right here. And what I want to do is add a heading. So click on the plus button right here, and then come down here and find the heading element and click on that. And once you get the heading settings right here, all we have to do is type in our call to action. So I'll type in ready to get the ball rolling, and I want to leave the title size as H2. And if we come down here, we don't need to change anything. So leave everything as is. And all I want to do is come to the design options tab, and I want to add 20px for the bottom margin. And once you do that, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And the last thing that we have to do for this WordPress page is add our button for the call to action. So click on the small plus button right here, and then click on the button element. And once you get the button settings pop up, the first thing that we're going to do is type in the text for the button. So I'll put in Contact Us. And then what we want to do is link this button to the Contact Us page that we're going to make a little bit later. So let's click on Select URL, and we can just type in the URL for the page that we're going to make a little bit later in this video. So type in http://www.yourwebsite name. So I'll type in howtowebtutorials.com/contact. And you want to type in your own website name right here. And once you do, go ahead and click on Set Link. And the last thing that I want to do is just change the colors for this button. So I want to go into this drop down and select Custom, and you should see these sections right here. And you can see on the demo WordPress website that my button is transparent, and when I hover over it, it turns white and the text turns to the baby blue color. So what you want to do if you want to customize the colors for your button is go into these sections and then change the colors to whatever you want. So for the text color, we're going to leave this as white, so we don't need to change anything here. But for when I hover over the button, I want to change the color to the baby blue color. So I'll click on Select Color, and I'll just type in the color code right here, which is going to be #00A9DA. And you can always go to your theme options and find the color code that you selected for your website if you need to. So this is the color code that I'll be using for most of the website, and you can always find the color codes that I use in the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website on the NYC Tech Club website. Okay, so let's click on Select Color once you're done, and the background color, we're going to make this transparent. So click on Select Color, and what I want to do to make the button transparent is come down here to where it says Alpha, and I want to drag this little button all the way to 1%. And that's going to make this section transparent. Okay, so let's click on Select Color right here. And then for the background hover, I want to change this to white. And you can always customize your buttons to be whatever color that you want, so you don't have to follow along exactly. But if you want the same colors as me, then just follow along. And the last thing that we want to do is add a white border color. So I'll click on Select Color and just select white right here. And that's going to give me the color code FFF. And then I'll just close this, and that's all we have to do. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes, and you should see the button get inserted right here. And once you do, we are actually done making the home page for our WordPress website. And we can always come back to this page and edit this page if we need to. So what I want you to do right now is come up here to the right hand and click on the blue button that says Publish or Update. And once the page is published, we can go and check it out. So let's click on View Page. And once your WordPress website loads, this is what you should see. So we should have a custom slider right here. And then below this, we should have the About section, and then our Services section right here, and then another About section right here, and then our blog post section right here that we're going to customize with some blog posts a little bit later. And I'll show you how to delete this default blog post also. And then we're going to have our testimonial section, and then our call to action right here, and then our footer down here. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go, and we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make the About page for this WordPress website. So we'll put in a custom title with a background image, and then we'll add an About section right here. And then we'll have a product or services section that describes your business over here. And I'll show you how to add these icons with different background colors if you want. And then we're going to put in another About section right here with a button that links to another part of your WordPress website. And then we'll round out this page with a call to action right here, and then our footer at the bottom. So if you want to learn how to make this page for your WordPress website, let's go back to the website that we're making, and we want to create a new page. So hover over New, and then click on Page. And once you're on the Add New Page, the first thing that we're going to do is type in our page title right here. So I'll type in About. And then what I want you to do is come down to the bottom to the Page Options section, and we want to disable the page title because we're going to create a custom page title. And if you want to enable the transparent header, you can, but I like to leave that unchecked because you can see on the demo WordPress website, my header for this page has a background color, and if I scroll down, it turns to a black color right here. And I like that for this page, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm not going to enable the transparent header menu. So once you're ready, let's just come back up to the top, and we want to turn on our page builder. So let's click on the backend editor right here, and you should see the page builder pop up, and we want to add a row for our page title. So let's click on the plus button right here and find the row element and click on that. And once the row is inserted right here, let's go to the row settings. So let's click on the pencil right here. And once the row settings pop up, let's go into the row stretch and select the stretch row and content option, and then go into the design options tab. And what I want to do is add some top padding over here to give some spacing between the text and the header menu. So type in 40px right here, and then we're going to come down here and add a background image for this row. So what we want to do is click on the plus button right here. And once you see the media library with all of the demo content, we're going to select one of these images. But if you want to upload your own image, you can always click on upload files up on the upper left. So right here in the media library, I want to choose this image right here. So this is the page title.jpg. And what I want to do is change the image from this colored image to a darker black and white image. And to do that, we can come right here to where it says image filter, and in this drop down there are a bunch of different options here, and you can play around with these to see which ones you like. And what I want to do is choose the darken option, and what that's going to do is darken the image and turn it black and white. So once you select whatever image filter that you want, or if you don't want to use one, then just select the image and then click on set image right here. And what you want to do is wait for the image to show up right here, or it's not going to set as the background image. So if you ever want to delete this, click on the X and then click on the plus button to add another image. And the last thing that we want to do is come down to this drop down where it says theme defaults and go in here and change it to cover. And once you do that, go ahead and click on save changes. And now what we want to do is put in our page title. So let's click on the plus button and find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, we can just type in our page title right here. So I'll type in about, and for the title size, I want to change this to H1. And then let's come down here to heading style, and I want to change this for the page title to style 1. And then for the color style, I want to go in here and choose the custom option so that I can change the main title color to white instead of black. So I'll go in here and just click on the white option right here, and that's going to change the color code to FFF. And then we can just click on select color to close that. And once you're ready, let's just click on the save changes button. And now what we want to do is put a line underneath the title. So let's click on the small plus button right here, and then come up to the top to the separator element and click on that. And once you see this pop up right here, let's go into the color drop down and change this to white. And we'll leave this as centered and the style as border. So for the border width, I want to change this to 3px, and then come down to the element width, and I want to select 10%. And you can play around with this stuff if you want on your own. And once you're ready, come to the design options tab, and I want to add some top margins. So up here, I want to type in -20px. And once you do that, let's come down to the bottom and click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add a row for our about section. So click on the big plus button at the bottom and find the row element and click on that. And the first thing that I want to do is go to this icon on the left hand side, and I want to change the number of columns that we have. So I want to click on the custom link right here, and I'll get this pop up. And what I want to do is come down here and put in a custom layout option. So you can do the same. What I want you to do, if you want to copy the demo WordPress website, is put in 5/12 plus 7/12, and that's going to give you a custom layout option. And then just click on the update button right here, and you can see that there's going to be a smaller column right here and then a larger box right here for our image. And once you're ready, let's click on the X right here, And let's go over here and add an element for our text. So click on the plus button and find the text block element and click on that. And once you see this pop up, you should see some demo text right here. So we can highlight and delete that. And I'll just go to the demo WordPress website and copy this text just to save some time. And I'll paste it in right here. And you can customize your text with all of these different buttons. And you can also make some of this text larger if you highlight it and go into this drop down and select whatever heading that you want. Okay, so if you need to, you can pause the video and type in whatever you want. And then once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add an image right here. So let's click on the plus button right here and find the single image element and click on that. And once you see this pop up, make sure that the image source is the media library and just come down here to where it says image and click on the plus button. And you should see the media library pop up with the demo content. And you can always upload your own image using the Upload Files tab. And the image that I want is this one right here, which is the work.jpg. And I want to turn this to a black and white photo. So in this image filter right here, I'll just go in here and select black and white. And you can see that the image turns black and white. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Set Image. And now you should see the image right here. And what I want you to do is come down to where it says image size. And you can put in whatever size you want for the image. So what I want to do is type in 500 by 300 for the dimensions. And this is just going to give it a good layout or size for this row. So if you want, you can put in the same dimensions and just come down here to where it says image alignment. And we're going to center this. And that's all we're going to do. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add a new row for the process or service or product section right here. So let's go back to the About page that we're making and just come down here and click on the big plus button and then go back up to the top and find the row element and click on that. And now you should see the row get inserted right here. And I just want to go to the row settings. So let's click on the pencil. And once you see the row settings, let's go into the row stretch and stretch the row and then go to the design options tab. And all I want to do here is add a background color for this row. So I'll click on select color and just type in this color code, which is # F4 F4 F4, and that's going to be a light gray color. So if you want the same, go ahead and type that in. And once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add a title for this row. So you can see on the demo WordPress website that we're building, it says our process and how we do it for a subheadline. So what we're going to do on the About page is click on the plus button right here and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, let's type in our title right here. So I'll type in our process and I'll leave the title size as H2. And then come down here to where it says subtitle, and this is where you can type in your subheadline. So again, I'll type in how we do it. And if you want to change the font size for the subtitle, you can go in here and just highlight this and then go into this drop down and select whatever font size that you want. So I'll go with H3 right here. And we're going to leave all this other stuff the same. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we have our title and subheadline for this row right here. And now I want to add another row inside this row for these little sections right here. So on the About page that we're making, let's click on the small plus button right here and then go back up to the top and find the row element and click on that. And you should see the row get inserted right below the heading element. And the first thing that we're going to do is go into this icon right here and then choose the one that has the 3 columns. So it's 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and click on that. And you should see these 3 boxes right here. And now we're going to add a service element to each one of these. So let's start on the left-hand side and click on the plus button. And what I want you to do is find the service element and click on that. And once you get this pop up right here in the drop down right here, you can see there's a style 1 and a style 2. Style 1 lets you insert an image, and then style 2 lets you put in an icon. So we want to select style 2, and once you do that, what I want to do is type in a title. So you can see on the demo WordPress website, my first icon has analytics as the title, so I'll just type that in right here. And you can type in whatever you want, and then we want to put in our description. So again, on the demo WordPress website, I have some text here, so to save some time, I'll just copy and paste this into the about page that we're building. So I'll paste that in right there. And then once you're ready, come down to the icon section, and to insert an icon, just click on the down arrow right here, and you'll see this little pop-up, and you can find whatever icon that you want, and you can go through all of these different pages. Or what you can do is come up to the top where it says search icon and just type in some keywords for the icon that you want. And it'll filter them, and you can see once I type in chart, I see some charts right here, and I can select the one that I want, and that's going to insert the icon into the services section. And if you want to link the title of the service, what you want to do is click on select URL and type in the URL, but we're going to leave that blank. And the last thing that you can do is change the icon color or the background color for your icon. But we're using the default colors in my demo WordPress website, so I don't need to change anything here. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video and customize your first service. And once you're ready, push play. Otherwise, we'll just continue on. So what I want to do is click Save Changes. And now you should see the service icon right here. And creating these service icons is really easy. So just to save some time, what I want you to do is pause the video and add your other two service elements right here. And then push play once you're ready, and we'll move on to the next step. So go ahead and pause the video and add the service elements, and I will see you in just a few minutes. Alright, and welcome back. So if you pause this video, you should have created some additional service elements right here. And we're just going to move on to the next section on the about page that we're building. So we're going to add another about section right here, but it's going to be a little different than the one that we made a little earlier, because we're going to have the image on the left hand side and our text on the right hand side. And this time around, we're going to add a button down here. So if you want to learn how to build this, let's go back to the WordPress about page that we're making, and let's click on this big plus button down here to add a new row, and find the row element and just click on that. And we want to add a custom layout for this row. So hover over the icon on the left hand side and click on the custom link right here. And in this section right here, I want you to delete that and type in 7/12 plus 5/12, and then click on the update button right here. And you can see that we have two columns now. One is going to be a little larger than the other. And once you're ready, let's click on the X right here. And let's go and add the image on the left hand side first. So let's click on the plus button. And once you get this pop-up, find the single image element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up right here, just make sure that you're in the media library for the image source, and we can just click on this plus button right here to add our image. And once you get the media library right here, let's just click on this image right here, which is section image.png, and then click on set image. And you should see the image show up right here. And if you do, what I want you to do is come down to where it says image size. And this time around, I want to type in full. You can see there's a bunch of different options here, and I want to type in full this time. And we're going to leave the image alignment to the left, so we don't need to change anything there. And so once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add the text block on the right-hand side. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the text block element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up right here, we can delete the demo text and type in whatever we want. So I'll just paste in the same stuff in the demo WordPress website. And again, if you want to format this font, you can always just highlight whatever you want. And you can go into these drop downs and select the heading size or any of these other buttons right here. And again, if you don't see the second row, just click on the toolbar toggle button right here to show the second row. Okay, so once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And the last thing that we have to do for the About page is make the call to action. So you can see on the About page right here, we're just going to make this. So we've already done this before, so we'll just do it again really quickly. So back on the About page that we're making, let's add a new row. So click on the plus button right here, and then click on the row element. And then let's go into the row settings. So let's click on the pencil. And once the row settings pop up, let's go into the drop down right here and select stretch row and content, and then go into the design options tab. And I want to add 0px to the bottom margin. And then I want to add a background color to this row. So I'll click on select color. And again, I'm using the default colors. So The color code that I'll put in is #00A9DA, and that's going to give me the sky or baby blue color. Okay, so once you're ready, let's click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add our title or the call to action. So let's click on the plus button right here, and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get the heading settings, all we're going to do is type in our call to action. So I'll type in like what you see, and we'll leave this as H2. And we don't need to make any changes down here. So all I want you to do is go to the Design Options tab, and let's add 20px right here, and then click on Save Changes. And now we just want to add our button at the bottom. So let's click on the plus button right here, and find the button element and click on that. And once you get the button settings pop up, let's just type in our text right here for the button. So I'll type in Get in Touch. And I want to link this button to the contact page that we're going to build a little bit later for the WordPress website. So we can just type in the URL, http://www.yourwebsite name. So I'll type in howtowebtutorials.com/contact. And this is going to link to the Contact Us page that we're going to create for the WordPress website a little bit later. And once you're ready, click on Set Link. And the last thing that we have to do, if you want, is customize the button colors. So I want to do this, so I'll select Custom, and we can go through these together. For the text color, we're going to leave this as white. For the text hover color, I want to change this to the baby blue color that I have on the Empire theme. So it's #00A9DA. And then for the background color, when we don't hover over the button, I want to change this to transparent. So I'll drag the alpha to 1%. And then for the background hover color, I want to change this to white. And then for the border color, I want to change this to white also. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should see the button inserted right here. And we have just created the About page for the WordPress website. So what I want you to do now, if you haven't already, is click on the Publish button to save all of your changes and make the About page live. So let's click on this button. And once the About page is published, let's go and check it out before we move on to the next step. So click on View Page. And once your WordPress website loads, this is what you should see. So you should see your custom title, the About section right here, and then our products or services section right here, and then another About section with a button right here, and then our call to action and our footer down here. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go, and now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is show you how to create the testimonial page for the WordPress website. So again, we'll put in a custom title at the top. We'll insert some testimonials right here, and if you have some client logos, we can insert them right here. And we'll have a call to action for your visitors to sign up for your newsletter, and then we'll have our footer at the bottom. So if you want to learn how to make this page for the WordPress website, let's go back to the website that we're making, and we want to create a new page. So hover over New right here and click on Page. And once you're on the Add New Page, the first thing that we're going to do is type in our page title right here. So I'll just type in Success Stories. And once you're ready, let's come down to the bottom to the Page Options section. And if all you see is this bar right here, then you have to open this up. So just click on the arrow, and it's going to open this up, and we can just check this box to disable the page title. And we're not going to enable the transparent header, but you can if you want. So once you're ready, come back up to the top, and we'll turn on the page builder right here. And the first thing that we're going to do is add a row for our custom page title. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And once you're ready, let's click on the row settings. And once you get this pop up right here, we'll go into the row stretch and select stretch row, and then go into the design options tab and add 40px for the top padding. And then I'll add my background image right here by clicking on the plus button. And you should see the media library right here. And you can see right here we have the image that we used for the About page background image also. And it already has the image filter because it saves the image after you customize it. So you can just select this one right here, or select the original and use the image filter again if you want. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Set Image. And now you should see the image right here. And the last thing that we have to do is come down to where it says Theme Defaults and select Cover. And then we can click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add our page title right here. So let's click on the plus button and find the heading element right here and click on that. And once you get this pop-up right here, we'll just type in our title. So I'll type in success stories. And what we're going to do is change the title size to H1. And then I want to come down to the bottom over here and I want to change the style heading to style 1. And then I want to leave the alignment as centered. And then for the color style, I want to go in here and click on custom and then just change the main title color to white. So once you do that, we can just click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add an underline for our title. So let's click on the small plus button right here and then find the separator element at the top and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, we'll just go through these options. So for the color, we're going to select white. For the alignment, we'll keep this the same. The border style, we'll keep this as is. For the border width, I like to choose 3px, and then the element width, I like to go with 10%. And all we have to do is go to the design options tab, and we want to add some margin at the top. So put in -20px, and that's all we have to do. So we can just click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add a row for our testimonials. So you can see on the demo WordPress website, we're going to have another row right here for these testimonials. So let's go and create that by clicking on the big plus button right here and then finding the row element and clicking on that. And once you see the row right here, all we have to do is go to the left icon and select the number of columns that we want. So we want to go with this one that has 4 columns. So just click on that. And you should see these 4 boxes right here. And adding testimonials is really easy, and we did this when we created our home page. So we're going to go through this a little quickly. So just click on the plus button right here and then find the single testimonial element. So that's this one right here, and click on that. And once you see this pop up, the first thing that we're going to do is add an image for this testimonial. So let's click on the plus button right here. And in the media library, just find the image that you want to use. So I'll select this one. And then we can click on set image. And once the image shows up, we can just type in our testimonial right here. So I'll paste in some text from the demo WordPress website. And then we can put in the name of the person that's giving the testimonial right here. So I'll just type in something random, Richard Jenkins, and he's going to be a designer. And that's all we have to do for this testimonial. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on save changes. And now you should see the testimonial right here. And because we've created testimonials a few different times, just to save some time, what I want you to do is pause the video and then create some additional testimonials for these other boxes right here. And then once you're ready, go ahead and push play and we'll move on to the next section on the success stories page. All right, so push pause and I will see you in just a few minutes. All right, and welcome back. So if you pause the video, then you should have created some additional testimonials right here. And now what we're going to do is move on and create the logo section for the testimonial page. So to do that, what we're going to do is create a new row. So let's click on the big plus button right here and then find the row element and click on that. And let's change the number of columns that we have to 4 right here. So click on this and you should see the 4 boxes right here. And what I want to do is go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once the row settings pop up, the first thing that we're going to do is change the row stretch to stretch row and then go into the design options tab. And I want to add 0px to the bottom margin over here just for spacing purposes for the call to action, which is going to be created below this and the logo section. And then I want to put in a background color. So I'll click on select color and let me just show you the background color again on the demo WordPress website. It's going to be a light gray color. So if you want to put in that same color code, you can just type this in right here. It's going to be hashtag EDEDED, or you can select whatever color that you want down here. And once you're ready, push select color and just click on save changes. And now all we have to do to add a logo is add a logo element. So click on the plus button right here and then come down here and find the logo block and click on that. And once you see this pop up, all we have to do is upload our logos. So click on the plus button right here and you can see that I'm in the media library with the demo content. And this is the logo that I'm using for the demo WordPress website. So I'll just select this and then click on set image. And now you should see the logo right here. And if you want to link the logo to your client's homepage, you can click on select URL and type that in right here. But we're going to leave that blank. So all we have to do is click on save changes, and that's going to insert the logo right here. And since I only have one logo for the demo WordPress website, what I'm going to do is just hover over this first logo and make copies of it by clicking on this button right here. And then I'm just going to drag these into these boxes right here to add the logo for the rest of this row. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video to upload the other logos for your clients, and then push play once you're ready, and then we'll add the call to action to the bottom of this page. Otherwise, we're just going to move on. So what we're going to do now is create the newsletter sign up right here. So let's go back to the success stories page and add a new row by clicking on the plus button right here, and then going back to the top and clicking on the row element. And you should see the row get inserted right here. And we want to go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you see this pop up, go into the row stretch and stretch the row, and then go into the design options tab. And I want to add 0px to the bottom margin. And again, you can always play around with the margin or the padding and figure out what works for you. And then for the background color, I want to put in the color code for the baby blue color. That is the theme color for my WordPress website. So the color code is #00A9DA in case you want to use the same color code. And again, all of this is on the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website on the NYC Tech Club website. So click on Save Changes once you're ready. And now what we're going to do is add our text. So on the demo WordPress website, you can see it says, stay updated, sign up for our newsletter. So what we're going to do is add a heading element right here. So click on the plus button and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, you can see I've already added my text right here just to save some time. So the title says stay updated, and we're going to leave the title size as H2. And then if you want to add a subtitle, you can type it in right here. So mine says sign up for our newsletter. And if I highlight this and go into this drop down and change the font size to H3, that's going to increase the font size. And then we can just come down to the bottom, and we want to change the heading style to style 1 for this call to action. And then for the color style, I want to select the custom option and then just change my main title color to white. So once I do that, we can just go to the design options tab, and I want to add some bottom margin right here. So I want to type in 20px. And once I do that, we can click on Save Changes. And the last thing that we have to do is add our newsletter sign up. And I'll show you how to use that newsletter sign up towards the end of this video tutorial when we're going over everything. And then I'll show you how to go to this tab and see your email subscribers and all that stuff. So right now, let's just add that sign up. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the newsletter form and click on that. And once you get the newsletter pop up right here, there's not much that we have to do. We're going to leave this form as the default, and all I really want to do is change my button text color right here. So I'll go in here and put in the color code for the baby blue color. So that's #00A9DA. And I'm not going to really change anything else here, but if you want to, you can always come back here and edit this stuff on your own. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should see the newsletter form get inserted right here. And if you do, then we are good to go. And we have just made the success stories page for the WordPress website. So what I want to do is click on the publish button right here to publish this page. So click on this. And once the page is published, let's go and check it out by clicking on the view page link. And once the WordPress website loads, this is what you should see. So we should have our custom title with our testimonial section, and then our client logos below, and the sign up form for your newsletter down here. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. And now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make the team page. So we'll have a custom title at the top, and then an employee section right here. And if you hover over these images, you can click on whatever social media buttons that you put in right here. And you can also expand the image to make it larger, so you can see all of your different employees. And then we're going to have a call to action at the bottom to get in touch, and then we'll have our footer down here. So if you want to learn how to make this page for your WordPress website, let's go back to the WordPress website that we're making, and we want to make a new page. So hover over New and click on Page. And once you're on the Add New Page, always remember that on the WordPress dashboard on the left-hand side, you can hover over Pages and click on Add New to create a new page. Okay, so once you're on the new page right here, the first thing that we want to do is type in our page title. So we'll type in team right there, and once you're ready, come down to the bottom to the page options section, and again, all we're going to do is come down here and disable our page title. And there are some other options here that you can play around with, but we don't do that in this WordPress tutorial. So we're also going to leave the enable transparent header unchecked right here. So now what we're going to do is turn on our page builder. So click on backend editor, and you should see the page builder right here. And the first thing that we're going to do is add a row for our page title. So click on the plus button right here and click on the row element, and you should see the row right here. So let's go into the row settings by clicking on the pencil. And once the row settings pops up, all we have to do is go into the row stretch and stretch the row, and then go into the design options tab, and we want to type in 40px for the top padding up here, and I want to add a background image. So I'll click on the plus button right here, and once you see your media library, you can find whatever image that you want to use, and I want to select this one right here. And again, we already used the image filter to darken this. So once I click on this, I can click on set image. And once you see the image right here, the last thing that we have to do is come into this drop down and select the cover option, and then we can click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add our page title right here. So we're going to click on the plus button and find the heading element right here and click on that. And once you see this pop up, we'll just type in our page title right here. So I'll type in meet the team, and for the title size, I want to select H1. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom and just change the color style right here. So I'll select on the custom option, and then for the main title color, I want to change this to white. And once we do that, we can just click save changes. And again, we're going to add an underline for our page title. So click on the small plus button right here, and then go up to the top and click on the separator element. And once you get this pop up, we're just going to go through these options. So for the color, I want to select white. And then for the border width, I want to select 3px, and the element width, I want to select 10%. And the last thing that I have to do is go to the design options tab, and I want to put in negative 20px for the top margin right here. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add a row for our employees. So let's click on the big plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And you should see the row get inserted right here. And we don't need to make any changes to the row settings. But what I want to do for each row of our employees is add a row inside this row. So what we're going to do is click on the plus button right here, and then find the row element again and click on that. And you should see this row get inserted inside this first row. And what we're going to do is hover over this icon on the left hand side and select the number of boxes that we want for this row. So I want 4 boxes, so I'll select this one, and you can see now that we have 4 columns right here. And what we're going to do is insert a team member element into each of these to make our first row of employees. So on the left hand box over here, let's click on the plus button, and then come down and find the team member element and click on that. And once you see this pop up, the first thing that we're going to do is add an employee image. So let's click on the plus button right here. And I'm in the media library, so I'm going to use the demo content. But if you want to upload your own images, click on upload files, and then click on select files and find whatever image that you want to upload. So on the media library tab, I'll just select this image, which is employee.jpg. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on set image. And once you see the image show up right here, all you have to do is type in the employee's name right here. So I'll type in Monica Jones, and I'll give her the title of designer. And then if you want to add some social media buttons, what you want to do is come down here to where it says social networks, and you want to add your buttons over here. So you can see by default, it adds a Facebook button. If you want to remove this, click on the X right here. But if you want to go in here and edit this, click on the arrow, and it's going to expand this section. And then you can click on the down arrow right here, and you can change the button to whatever you want. And you can also search for different social networks right here with the keyword search. So we're going to leave the first one as Facebook, but what I want to do down here is add the URL for my Facebook page. So I'll just click on select URL, and you should see this pop up right here, and all you have to do is type in the Facebook URL for this employee. So I'll type in the Facebook URL for NYC Tech Club, and once you're ready, go ahead and click on set link. And then what we can do is come up here and just collapse this. And if you want to add some additional buttons, what you want to do is click on the plus button right here, and you'll see this new line. And then go in here again and just select the icon for the button that you want to show up. So I'll click on the down arrow, and you'll get this little pop-up, and we can just type in Twitter right here, and then select this icon, and then click on select URL, and type in the URL for Twitter. So I'll type in the Facebook URL and just change this to www.twitter.com. And again, this is going to link to my NYC Tech Club Twitter page. So I'll click on set link, and then we can close this. And now let's add an Instagram button. So let's click on the big plus button again, and then go in here and click on the down arrow, and then just search for Instagram and click that, and then type in the URL right here. And I'll just change this to Instagram really quickly, and then just click on set link. And once you're ready, all you have to do is click on save changes. And now you should see the team member right here. And if you want, you can go into these boxes and add a new team member. So if you want, you can pause the video. What I'm going to do is just make copies of the first employee and then just drag these in just to save some time. So I'll place that right there and place this right here, and then place this right here. And it's a little shaky, but don't worry about that. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video and then add your other employees right here. I'm just pasting in copies just to save some time. And then what I want to do is add another row of employees right below this. And again, just to save some time, I can just click on this button right here to make a copy of this row, and it's just going to add a copy down here. And what you can do is always just go into each one of these and edit them for the name and the image and the URLs. Okay, so if you want, pause the video and create as many rows of team members that you want, and then push play once you're ready, and we'll finish out this page with a call to action on the bottom. All right, so I will see you in a few minutes. All right, and welcome back. So if you pause the video, then you should have created some additional team members right here. And if you did, then we are good to go. And the last thing that we're going to do is create this call to action right down here. So we've done this before, so let's just do it really quickly. Let's come down here and add a new row. So click on the row element, and we're going to go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once the row settings show up, let's go in here and select stretch row, and then go into the design options. And I want to put in 0px for the bottom margin. And then I want to add a background color right here. So I'll put in the color code #00A9DA. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now let's add the call to action by clicking on the plus button right here, and then finding the heading element and clicking on that. And once you see this pop up right here, all we have to do is type in our call to action. So mine says work with our team, and we're going to leave this as H2, and we don't need to change anything down here. The only thing that I want to do is go to the design options tab, and I want to put in 20px for the bottom margin. And once you do that, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And the last thing that we have to do is add our button. So click on the small plus button right there, and then click on the button element. And once you see the button pop up right here, let's just type in the call to action for our button. So I'll type in get in touch. And then we can type in our URL right here by clicking on select URL. And we're going to link this button to the contact page. So http://www.howtowebtutorials.com. So again, you want to put in your own website name right here, and then just type in /contact, and then just click on set link. And the last thing that I want to do is format the button colors. So I'll go in here and select custom, and we're going to leave the text color white, but I want to change the text hover color to the baby blue. So I'll put in the color code right here, which is #00A9DA. And then for the background color, I want to make this transparent. So down here, I'll just move the alpha to 1%. And then for the background hover color, I'm going to change this to white. And then for the border color, I'll change this to white as well. And that's all we have to do. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now we should be done with our team page. So let's go and click on the blue button right here to publish this page. And once the page is published, let's go and check it out. So click on View Page. And once the WordPress page loads, this is what you should see. So we should have a custom title at the top, and then our rows of employees right here. And if we click on the image, it should expand just like this. And then below this, we should see our call to action and our footer. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. And now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make the portfolio page for our WordPress website. So we'll insert a custom title with a background image, and you can have as many images as you want in your gallery. And if you hover over an image and click on it, you'll get this pop-up right here, and you can just scroll through your images just like this. And you also have the option of having a lazy load at the bottom or a load more button. So I'll show you those options a little bit later. And we're going to have a call to action at the bottom down here, and then our footer. So if you want to learn how to make this page for your WordPress website, what we want to do is go back to the website that we're making and create a new page. So hover over New and click on Page. And once you're on the Add New Page, the first thing that we're going to do is type in our page title. So I'll type in Gallery, and you can type in whatever you want. And once you're ready, come down to the bottom and just disable the page title, and then come back up to the top. And let's turn on the page builder. So click on the backend editor. And what I want to do is add a row for the page title. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And once the row is inserted, let's go to the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you see the row settings, let's go into the row stretch and select stretch row, and then go into the design options tab and type in 40px for the top padding. And I want to add a background image for this row. So I'll click on the plus button right here, and I'm in the media library tab, and I just want to find this image right here. So this is large image.jpg. And once you select that image, go ahead and click on the set image button. And once you see the image right here, for this image, I'm not going to go in here and select cover. I'm going to leave it as theme defaults. And this just changes what you see for the background image. Okay, so once you're ready, let's just click on Save Changes. And now let's add a headline element. So click on the big plus button right here, and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, we can just type in our title right here for the page. So I'll type in portfolio, and then I'll change the title size to H1, and then come down here once you're ready and change the heading style to style 1. And then I want to change the main title color to white. So I'll select custom, and then go in here and click on select color and just click on the white option. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now all we have to do is add our separator element. So click on the small plus button right here, and then come up to the top and click on separator. And once you get this pop up, we can go into the color and select white. And then we can come down here to border width and select 3px. And the element width that I want is 10%. And then I'll just go to the design options tab, and I'll put in negative 20px for the top margin. And once you're ready, click on Save Changes again. And now what we're going to do is add a new row for our gallery. So click on the big plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And let's go into the row settings really quickly. So click on the pencil. And once you see the gallery settings pop up right here in this load options, you can see there's a few different options. So load all is going to show all of your images once you go to your web page. And then the lazy load option is going to show some of your images. And when you scroll down, it's going to show some additional images and so forth. And then for the load more button, if you want to have a button at the bottom that says load more images, then you can select this option. And if you select lazy load or load more, you can put how many images that you want when you do the lazy load or when someone clicks on the load more button. So what we're going to do for the demo WordPress website is just load all of our images because we're not going to put too many in. So I will leave this unchanged, and what I'll do is come into this section right here, and I want to have 4 images per row, and you can select whatever option that you want. And then this is where you're going to add the images for your gallery. So what we're going to do is just click on the plus button right here. And once you see the media library, you can always go and upload some new images if you want, or you can use the demo content. So let me just select some of these images. So you can see I selected a bunch of them. So once I check all of the ones that I want, all I have to do is click on the button that says add images. And once the images are added right down here, then we are good to go and we can click save changes. And the last thing that we have to do is add a row for our call to action. So let's click on the plus button right here and then click on the row element. And once that shows up right here, let's go into the row settings. And once you get the row settings, let's go into the row stretch and stretch the row, and then go into the design options and put in 0px for the bottom margin. And then if you want to put in a background color, click on select color. And I just want to type in a color code. So I'll type in #00A9DA for the light blue color. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on save changes. And now what we're going to do is add a heading element. So click on the plus button right here and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, we can just go in here and type in our call to action. So I'll type in want to get in touch, and I'll leave this as H2. So I'll just come down to the bottom, and all I have to do is change the font color. So I'll go in here and select custom, and then come down here and click on select color. And I just want to change the main title color to white. And once I do that, I'll just go to the design options tab, and I want to add 20px for the bottom margin here. And once you're ready, let's click on save changes. And the last thing that we have to do is add our button for our call to action. So right over here, click on the small plus button and then find the button element and click on that. And once you get the button settings, we can just type in the text for our button right here. And we want to link this button to the contact page. So click on select URL. And if you already made the page, you can just select it down here, or you can type the URL right here. So we'll just type it in. So http://www.howtowebtutorials.com/contact. So again, you want to type in your own website name right here. And once you're ready, click on set link. And the last thing that we have to do is change the color of our button if you want to. So go in here and select custom so you can customize the colors. And what I want to do is change the text hover color to the baby blue. So I'll paste in the color code #00A9DA. And then for the background color, I want to change this to transparent. So I'll change the alpha to 1%. And then for the background hover color, I want to change this to white. And then for the border color, I want to select white also. And once you're ready, all we have to do is click on save changes. And now we are done making our portfolio page for the WordPress website. So what I want you to do is click on the publish button right here. And once the page is published, let's go and check it out. So click on view page. And once the WordPress page loads, this is what you should see. So we have our custom title up here and then our gallery down here. And if we click on these images, they should pop up and we can go through them like that. And we should have our call to action down here and our footer over here. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. And now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to create some blog posts for the WordPress website. So we'll have a title at the top, and you can format this a few different ways. So I'll show you how as we make these blog posts. And we can add a featured image right here, and we can customize a sidebar on the right hand side. So I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. And then below the featured image, we can have all of our content. And then we can add a section for your visitors to leave you a comment also down here. And then below this, we're just going to have our footer. So if you want to learn how to create some blog posts for your WordPress website, what we want to do is go back to the website that we're making, and we want to create a new blog post. So we can hover over new right here and click on post. And once you're on the add new post page, creating a blog post is really easy. So I'll just walk it through. And once you're on the add new post page, creating blog posts is really easy. So I'll walk you how. And once you're on the add new post page, creating a blog post is really easy. So I'll show you how to do it once, and then you can create as many as you want on your own. So the first thing that we're going to do is type in our title right here. So I'll just type in Living the Dream, and down here is where you can put in your content. So I'll paste in some demo content, and you can always format the text with these buttons right here. Or if you want to add HTML, go to the text tab. And at the bottom of this page over here in the post format options, this is where you can select the title option that you have for your blog posts. And you can see there are 5 different options here. And I have 2 tabs open right here to show you some of the options. So first is the one that you already saw. This is the default option, so it's just right in the center. And then on this other tab right here, this is the left aligned option. So you can see it's a little bit more basic, but I really like how this one looks. So on the blog post page that we're making right now, if we come in here and we select the simple option is the same as the default option, except now you have the opportunity to change the color or add a background image for this section. Okay, so there's a bunch that you can choose from, and we're going to use the default option for this page that we're making right now. And what I want to do once you're ready is come over to the featured image section and add a featured image. So I'll click on set featured image. And once I get my media library, if you want to use the demo content, we can just select one of these images, or you can upload your own images if you want. So I'll just select this one and then click on the set featured image button. And once the image is added right here, you can always remove it and add a new one if you want. And then the last thing that I want to do is add a category name for this blog post so that I can sort all of my different blog posts. So to do that, all I have to do is click on add new category and then type in the category name right here. So I'll type in marketing and then just push enter or the add new category button, and you can see that it gets added right here with the check mark. Okay, so that's how you create a blog post, and all you have to do to finish this up is click on the publish button right here. So I'll just do that right now. And once the blog post is published, before I tell you to pause this video and create some additional blog posts, what I want to do is show you how to change the author name, because right now our blog posts are written by the admin. You can see right here it says by admin. So let me show you how to change that. If I go back to my WordPress website right here, down on the left hand side there should be a tab called users, and if you hover over that, you can add a new username, or you can just edit the current username, which is your admin. So let's do that. Let's click on your profile. And once you're on your profile, all you have to do is come down here to where it says nickname, and you can see that it says admin right here. So you can type in whatever name that you want to show up as your author, and then come down to where it says display name and go into this drop down and then select that new nickname, and then just come down to the bottom and click update profile. And once your profile is updated, now whenever you write a blog post, it's going to show up as this name right here. Or what you can do is come down to where it says users, and you can create a new user that can log into your WordPress website and also be an author for your blog posts. Okay, so what I want to do now is go back to the blog post that we just wrote. So let's hover over post over here and click on all posts. And once you're back on the post page, you should see the blog post that you just published, and also another post called Hello World. And this is installed by default when we installed WordPress. So what we can do is just delete this by clicking on the trash link right here. And once the post is deleted, if you want to empty your trash can, you can just click on this link and delete your trash can. I'll do that a little bit later on my own. So what I want to do right now is go back to the edit page for this blog post. So hover over it and click on edit. And once you're back on the edit post page, what I want to do really quickly is show you how you can select between different author names if you have more than one user. So what you have to do is click on screen options on the upper left and then check this box next to author, and then we can close this. And if we come down here, now there should be a section called author, and you can go into this drop down, and if you have more than one username, then all the users will show up, and you can just select the one that you want to be the author for this blog post. And you can do this for every blog post that you make. Okay, so what I want to do is really just show you what the blog post looks like now that we published it. So let's click on this link right here called permalink. And once the blog post loads, this is what you should see. We have our title at the top, our featured image over here, and then our sidebar that we're going to customize in just a few minutes, and then our content section and a section for visitors to leave comments. So before we move on to the next step, let's go and make sure that the comment section is enabled for the blog post. So what I want you to do is hover over your website name and click on dashboard. And once you're back on the WordPress dashboard, come down on the left hand side to settings and then click on discussion. And once you're on the discussion settings page, if you want people to be able to leave comments, then you want to make sure that this box is selected right here that says allow people to post comments on new articles. And also this one right here that says a person has to fill out their name and their email address. And there's a bunch of different options here that you can play around with on your own. And also at the bottom over here, you can change the avatar that shows up whenever someone leaves a comment. So if you make any changes on this page, make sure that you click on the Save Changes button down here. Okay, so we're not going to make any changes, but I did want to make sure that you have all of these options selected. So before we move on to customizing our sidebar, what I want you to do is pause this video and create some additional blog posts. So to create some more blog posts, you can hover over New and click on Posts, or on the left-hand side, you can hover over Posts and then click on Add New. So go ahead and pause the video and create some additional blog posts, and then push play once you're ready to move on to the next step. Alright, and welcome back. So if you pause this video to create some additional blog posts, then you should see them in this list right here. And you can see that I made 6 additional blog posts. And in just a few minutes, we're going to learn how to make the blog page. But first, what I want to do is move on to the next step, which is going to be customizing the sidebar. So this is going to be very easy and very quick. So let me show you how to do this. Let's go back to our WordPress website, and on the left-hand side, what I want you to do is come down to Appearance and hover over that and click on Widgets. And once you're on the widgets page, you can see on the left-hand side are some available widgets, and then you have this box right here called Main Sidebar. And whatever you put in here is going to show up in your sidebar on the WordPress pages that have a sidebar. So by default, WordPress puts in some widgets for you. And if you want to delete any of these, just click and expand it, and then click on the delete link right here. And what I want to do is just quickly show you how you can add something to your main sidebar. So earlier in this video, we added a plugin called Recent Posts Extended. And this is a widget that we can add to our sidebar. So what you can do is just click and drag it into your sidebar, or you can just click on the widget and you'll get this pop-up, and then click on the button that says Add Widget. And that's going to add this widget into your main sidebar. And if you need to, you can customize the settings right here, but we don't need to do that, so I'll just close this. And if you want to change the order of these widgets, then just click and move it to wherever you want. Okay, so there's a bunch of different widgets that you can add, and you can see them right here. Or what you can do is always go and download some plugins that are widgets, and then you can add them to your sidebar also. So I do have a video with my top recommendations for widgets to add to your sidebar, so I'll link you to that video in the video description. Okay, so you can pause this video if you want to customize your sidebar, or we can just go and check out what our sidebar looks like now that I added this widget right here. So let's do that really quickly. I'll just go in here and just paste in the URL to one of my blog posts and then click enter. And once the WordPress page loads, on the right hand side, you can see that we have our sidebar right here. So we have the search box, the recent post widget that I just added, and then these other widgets right here. And you can always add as many different widgets as you want. So if you want, you can pause the video and customize your slider, or you can check out that video where I recommend some additional widgets for your WordPress sidebar. And again, all you have to do is go to the widgets page. So if you hover over your website name, you can click on widgets right here to do that. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and customize your slider however you want, and then push play once you're ready, and we'll move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make the blog page for our WordPress website. So we'll have a custom title at the top, and then all of our blog posts down here, and you can see we have our category names at the top. And then below this, what we're going to do is put in a sign up for our newsletter or a call to action, and then we'll have our footer down here. So if you want to learn how to make this page for the WordPress website, we want to go back to the website that we're making, and we want to create a new page. So hover over Pages and click on Add New. And once you're on the Add New page, the first thing that we're going to do is type in our title right here. And then I want you to come to the page attributes on the right hand side, and in this template drop down, you want to select the template that you want for the blog layout. So there's the list option and the masonry option, and we use the masonry grid for this WordPress website. So go ahead and select that, and then come down to the page options, and you should see 2 tabs, page title and blog. First, on the page title, we're going to leave the page title enabled for the blog page, so don't check this box. And what you can do is add a background color for this row, or you can add a background image for your title. So that's what we're going to do. So click on Add Media. And once you see the media library, if you want to use the same image, then select this one right here, and then click on the select button, and you should see the image show up right here. And now let's go to the blog tab, and what I want to do is come down to sidebar placement, and I want to select this layout right here so that the sidebar shows up on the right hand side. And then what you want to do is come down to sidebar visibility and select where you want the sidebar to show up. So I just want it to show up on my post pages, so I'll click on this. And then what you can do is change the number of blog posts that show up on the blog page. So I want to go in here and change it to 6 per page. And that's all I'm going to do. So once you're ready, let's go back up to the top and let's turn on the backend editor. And once you see the page builder, all we have to do for the blog post page is just add the sign up for our newsletter. Everything else is going to show up on its own. So let's click on the plus button right here and add a new row. And then we want to go into the row settings. And once you see this pop up, we can just go and stretch the row and then go into the design options tab and add 0px for the bottom margin. And then I want to add a background color for this row. So I'll type in the color code #00A9DA. And then once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And all we have to do now is add our heading element. So click on the plus button and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get the heading settings, let's type in our title right here. So it's going to say stay updated, and then come down to the subtitle and I can just paste in sign up for our newsletter. And if you need to, you can highlight this and change it to heading 3. And if you want to change the color of the text, you can do that right here. And once you're ready, come down to heading style and change this to style 1 for this. And then I want to change the color style for the main title. So click on custom and then click on select color and just change this to white. And then come to the design options tab and I want to add 0px right here. And once you're ready, click on save changes. And the last thing that we have to do is put in our newsletter sign up form. So click on the small plus button right here and then find the newsletter form and click on that. And once you get this pop up, we don't need to make any changes, so we can just click on save changes, and that's going to insert the newsletter sign up right here. And I will be making a new video on how to use the newsletter plugin that's going to go into a lot more detail on how to use this. So once I upload that, I'll add a link to the video description. Okay, so we are done creating the blog post page. So all we have to do is click on the publish button now. And once the page is updated, let's go and check it out. So click on view page. And once your WordPress page loads, this is what you should see. So we have our title at the top, our category names right here, and then our blog posts in a masonry grid, and then a sign up form down here, and our footer. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go, and now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make the Contact Us page for the WordPress website. So we'll insert a custom title at the top and some details about your business right here. And then we'll insert this contact form so your visitors can send you a message. And if you have a physical location, we can insert a map just like this. And then we'll have our sign up form down here and our footer at the bottom. So if you like what this web page looks like and you want to learn how to make it, let's go back to the website that we're making and we want to create a new page. So hover over new and click on page. And once you're on the add new page, the first thing that we have to do is type in our page title. So go ahead and do that. And then come down to the bottom and check this box to disable the page title. And we're going to leave the enable transparent header unchecked. And then what we're going to do is come back up to the top and click on backend editor to turn on the page builder. And now let's add a row for our page title. So click on the plus button right here and then click on the row element and let's go to the row settings. And once you get this pop up, let's go into the row stretch and select stretch row and then go into the design options tab and let's type in 40px for the top padding. And what I want to do for this row is add a background color instead of a background image. So you can see on the demo WordPress website, we have a background color that matches the header background color. So if you want the same background color, what you want to do is click on select color right here and then type in this color code #232020. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on save changes. And now what we're going to do is add a heading element for the page title. So click on the plus button right here and then click on the heading element. And once you get this pop up, we can just type in our page title right here. So I'll type in Contact Us and change the title size to H1 and then come down to the bottom and change the heading style to style 1. And then let's go to the color style and select custom. And I just want to change this to white. So I'll select white right here. And once you're ready, let's click on save changes. And now let's add the underline for the title. So click on the small plus button right here and then come up to the top and click on the separator element. And once you get this pop-up, we can just go into the color and select white, and then change the border width to 3px and the element width to 10%, and then go into the design options tab and just change the top margin to -20px. And once you do that, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add a new row for all of our contact information. So click on the big plus button and find the row element and click on that. And all we have to do is change the number of boxes that we have in this row. So hover over the icon on the left hand side, and I want to use the one with the 4 boxes. So I'll click on this one right here, and you can see now I have 4 different columns. And what we're going to do is add a contact info element into each one of these to add our text. And again, on the demo WordPress website, you can see right here, we're going to add some information right here, right here, right here, and right here. So let's go back to the WordPress website that we're making, and let's click on the plus button on the left hand side, and I want you to find the contact info element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, all we have to do is type in the title for this row. So you can see on the demo WordPress website that we're making that the title is address. So I'll just type that in right here, and then we can type in our contact information down here. And once you're ready, come down to the next section and you'll see that it says view map and get directions. And if you leave this section blank, then nothing's going to show up. But if you type in a URL into either one of these, then what you're going to see are links down here. So you can see we have one for view map and get directions. So for view map, I linked it to the map that I inserted on the contact us page. So if I click on this link, it's going to jump me down to the map that we inserted right here. So this is called anchoring the row. So if you want to learn how to anchor the link to another row on your page, let me show you what you have to do. Back on the WordPress website that we're making, if we click on select URL, all we have to do is type in the # and then the name of the row that we created. So we're going to create a row called map a little bit later and insert the map. So go ahead and just type this in right here. And this is going to link the view map link to the row that we're going to create for the map. And I'll show you how to create the row and anchor it in just a little bit. But first, just type this in and it'll make more sense in a little while. So let's click on set link. So that's going to create a link called view map that's going to link to the row that we create for our map a little bit later. And now let's talk about get directions. Back on the demo WordPress website, if I scroll back up, we have the link right here for get directions. And if I click on it, it's going to open up a new tab and go to Google Maps with my physical location, and my visitor can type in their address and get directions. So what you want to do is go to google.com/maps and then just type in your address right here and push enter, and you'll get a URL, and you can just copy that and then go back to your WordPress website and then click on select URL and just paste that in right here. And if you want to open up that page in a new tab, just select this option right here and then click on set link. And now that's going to create another link to the Google Maps page. Okay, so that's all we have to do. And now we can click on save changes. And now you should have the first contact info element right here. And we're going to go through these other ones together just so that I can show you how to add your email address. So let's do this really quickly. Let's click on the plus button and then find the contact info element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, you can just type in the title for this next section. So I'll type in hours and then just type in my hours right here. And we don't need to add our URLs this time because we don't need this to show up on this element. So go ahead and click on save changes. And now let's click on the plus button right here and then find the contact info element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, what we're going to do now is add our email address. So in the title, let's type in email. And then down here is where we can type in our email address. So I'll type in myctechclub@gmail.com. And if you want to link the email like the demo WordPress website right here, where if you hover over it, it's a link that if you click on, it'll open up your email. What you want to do is highlight your email that you typed in right here, and then just click on the insert edit link button right here, and you'll get this pop-up. And if you click on apply, that's going to turn the email address into HTML and link it. Okay, so that's all you have to do. And once you're ready, click Save Changes. And the last thing that we're going to do is put in our phone number. So click on the plus button right here and then find the contact info element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, let's just type in phone right here. And then let's type in our phone number right here. So I'll just type in a random number. And again, that's all we have to do. So once you're ready, click Save Changes. And now we should have all of our contact info right here. So if you want, go ahead and click on Preview to check it out. And let me just close this tab. Otherwise, we're just going to move on to the next section. So what we're going to do now is add a contact form for your visitors to write you a message if they want to contact you directly. So back on the WordPress website that we're building, we want to add a new row. So click on the big plus button right here and scroll up and find the row element and click on that. And the first thing that I want to do is go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you get the row settings, we'll just go into row stretch and stretch the row, and then go into the design options tab. And I want to add some top margin and some bottom margin. So go ahead and type in 20px for the top and 0px for the bottom if you want your website to look like the demo WordPress website. And then what I want to do is add a background color for this section. So I'll type in #F4 F4 F4. If you want the light gray color, go ahead and type in the same thing. And then once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And now what we're going to do is add the heading for the section. So let's click on the big plus button right here and find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, we can just go in here and type in our title. So on the demo WordPress website, it says have a question for us. So I'll copy that and just paste it in, and we're going to leave it as H2. And then we can put in a sub headline down here. So again, I'll go back here and just copy this and paste it in. And you can see when I paste it in, it's already heading 3. So if you need to, you can highlight the text and go into this drop down and select H3. And we're not going to change anything down here. But if you want to, you can change the color style for your font if you want. Okay, so once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And now we have our heading here, and what we want to do is add a row inside this row for our contact form. So click on the small plus button right here, and then find the row element and click on that. And all we're going to do is change the number of columns. So hover over this icon right here and find the one that says 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/4 and click on that. And now you should see 2 small boxes on the side and 1 large box in the middle. And all we're going to do is click on the plus button in the middle and find the contact form 7. So that's this one right here. And then just add that. So click on that. And once you get this pop up right here, we're not going to make any changes, but we will go to our contact form and format it in just a little bit. So all I want you to do is just click Save Changes right here. And you should see the contact form get added here. So before we add anything else to this page, I want to go and format the contact form so that it looks like the demo contact form right here where you have the name, email, and message. So what we're going to do is just click on the publish button right here just to save all of our changes. So go ahead and do that right now. And once the page is published, let's go and check it out right now so that you can see what the contact form looks like. So click on View Page. And once your WordPress website loads, if we scroll down, you can see the contact form right here. And by default, this is what it looks like. And you can see the difference on the demo WordPress website that the contact form looks a little bit better here. So if you want to make this for your WordPress website, let me show you how to do that. What we have to do is paste in some custom HTML that I have. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So hover over your website name on the upper left and click on Dashboard. And once you're back on the WordPress dashboard, what I want you to do is come down on the left-hand side to Contact, and then hover over that, and then click on Contact Forms. And once you're on the Contact Forms page, you should see the default contact form right here. And what we're going to do is just go and edit this. So hover over it and click on Edit. And once you're on the Edit Contact Form, you can see right here on the Form tab that there's some HTML right here. And what we're going to do is go to the demo WordPress website on how to make a WordPress website. Again, this link is in the video description. And I think we're going to be on step number 19. This could change once I publish this video, but this is the Contact Us page section that we're making right now. And what I want you to do is come to this section and then come down to this yellow box and just highlight all of this text right here. And this is actually CSS. And what we're going to do is copy that and then go in here and delete all of this and then paste in our new CSS from the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website. And once you do that, come down to the bottom and click on the save button right here. And once the contact form is updated, it should update on our WordPress website. So let's go back to our contact page. So let's hover over pages and click on all pages. And once you're back on the page with all of your different pages, let's go and check out the contact page before we build the rest of this WordPress website. So click on view page. And once you're on the contact page, if we scroll down, this is the contact form that you should see now. So it should be formatted just like the demo WordPress website. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go and we can build the rest of this WordPress page. So what we want to do is click on this link right here that says edit page. And once you're back on the edit contact page, let's scroll down to the bottom. And what we're going to do now is add a new row for our map. So you can see on the demo WordPress website, we're going to insert this map now if you have a physical location. If you don't, then you can skip this part and then just add the call to action down here. So if you do want to insert a map, let me show you how to do that. We're going to click and add a new row. So click on the row element right here. And we're going to go into the row settings really quickly. So click on the pencil. And once you see this pop up, go into the row stretch. And we want to select stretch row and contents with no paddings. And what I want to do is name this row for the row anchor. So what you want to do is come down to where it says row ID. And this is where you can put in a name for your row. So we want to name this row map. And what this is going to do is make that link at the top over here, view map, link to the map right here, since we named our row. Okay, so type in the name right here. And then all we have to do for this row is add 0px to the bottom padding right here. So just type that in. And once you're ready, click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add our map right here. So let's click on the big plus button and find the map element right here and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, what we're going to do is put in an API key right here. And by default, there should be one, but we're going to make one for our WordPress website because that's the right thing to do. So let's click on this link right here, and it should open up a new tab that will bring you to Google. And if you're logged into Google, then you can just click on Get a Key, and you'll get this pop-up right here. And you might need to create a new project, and you can name it whatever you want. If you have a project already, go ahead and click on that, and then click on Next. And you should see an API key right here. And to copy this, we can just click on this icon and that's going to copy it. And now let's go back to the WordPress website that we're building and we can delete the default one and paste in our new API key. And now what we want to do is put in the latitude and longitude so that our pin on our map knows where to point. So to do this, I want you to go to Google Maps. So you can see the URL up here if you need it. And just type in the address for your physical location if you have one, and you should see the pin right here. And what I want you to do is just right click it, and you'll get this pop-up right here, and click on what's here, and you'll get this little box down here, and you should see the latitude and longitude down here. So if we click on this, what's going to happen is this box will update, and you should see the numbers right here. So we can just highlight the first number before the paragraph and copy that, and then go back to the WordPress page and just paste that into the latitude, and then go back to Google Maps and take the second number right here, and this is going to be our longitude. So make sure that you get everything after the paragraph and then just paste that in right here. And what you want to do is change the zoom, and you can always play around with this stuff on your own, but what I want to do is just change it to 15. And again, you can play around with this number. And then I want to change the height right here to 600. And this is just the map size. And I just like a larger map. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to leave the map style as Empire. So go ahead and click on Save Changes once you're ready. And now all we have to do is add the call to action at the bottom of this page. So click on the big plus button and find the row element and click on that. And let's go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you get this pop-up, let's go into the row stretch and select stretch row and content. And then just go to the design options tab and let's add 0px to the bottom margin. And I want to add a background color code. So I'll click on select color and just add that baby blue color. So it's #00A9DA. And once you're ready, click Save Changes. And now we're going to add our heading. So click on the plus button right here and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, we can just type in our title right here. So I'll type in stay updated, and I'll leave this as H2. And for the subheadline, let me go to the demo WordPress website and just copy this just to save some time. And then I'll paste it into the WordPress page right here. And you can see once I paste it in, it's already heading 3. So if you need to, you can highlight the text and go in here and select H3. And then we're just going to come down here and select style 1. And then I want to change the main title color. So I'll select custom and then come down here and click on select color and just choose white. And once you're ready, we can click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add our newsletter opt-in. So let's click on the small plus button right here and then find the newsletter form and click on that. And once you get this pop up, we don't need to make any changes here, but you can always customize the colors on your own. So let's just click on save changes, and the opt-in form should get inserted right here. And if someone signs up for this newsletter, they're going to get added to the newsletter plugin over here. And you can see when you hover over it, there's a few different links, including your subscriber list right here. And you can always export your list if you go to dashboard. So what I'll do is I'll make a longer video on how to use the newsletter plugin, because I can't cover everything in this video tutorial. Otherwise it would be too long. So I'll link that in the video description and also in the text tutorial. Okay, so we are actually done now creating the contact us page. So what I want you to do is click on the update button right here. And once the page is updated, let's go and check it out. So click on view page. And once the WordPress page loads, this is what you should see. So we have our title, our contact information with some links right here, and then our contact form and a map below, and then our newsletter sign up right here. And we can just double check to make sure that this link anchors to this row right here. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. And now we can move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to create the frequently asked questions page for our WordPress website. So we'll insert a custom title and have different sections for our questions and answers. And all your visitor has to do to find an answer is click on the question and it'll expand like this. And then below this, we're going to insert a call to action and have the footer below. So if you want to learn how to build this page for your WordPress website, what we want to do is go back to the website that we're building and we want to create a new page. So hover over new and click on page. And once you're back on the add new page, the first thing that we have to do is put in the title. So I'll type in FAQ. And then what we want to do is come down to the bottom to the page options. And I want to check this box to disable the page title. And I'm going to leave this box unchecked right here for the transparent header. And then once you're ready, come back up to the top. And we're just going to turn on the backend editor for our page builder. And now you should see the page builder right here. And we're going to add a row for our page title. So click on the plus button and then find the row element and click on that. And let's go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you see the row settings, we're just going to go into row stretch and stretch the row, and then go into the design options and put in 40px for the top padding. And then go over here to the background area and add a background image. So click on the plus button right here. And once you're in the media library, if you want to use the demo content, just find the image that we've been using. So I'm going to select this one right here. And again, we've already darkened this with the image filter. So once you select it, go ahead and click on set image. And once you see the image show up right here, we'll just come down to this drop down and select cover. And then once you're ready, click on save changes. And now what we want to do is add our page title. So click on the big plus button right here and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, all we have to do is type in our page title right here. And all of these steps should be very easy to you because we've done it so many times now. So for the title size, I want to change this to H1. And then I just want to come down here and change the style type to style 1. And then I want to change the color style to custom and then just change the main title color to white. So I'll select this. And then once you're ready, go ahead and click on save changes again. And the last thing that we have to do for this row is add the underline. So click on the small plus button right here and then go back up to the top and find the separator element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, all we have to do is change the color to white. And then I'll come down here to change the border width to 3px and then the element width to 10%, and then go into the design options tab and just put in -20px for the top margin. And again, you can always customize this to be whatever color you want and all that other stuff. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should have your page title right here. And the next thing that we're going to do is learn how to create the Q&A section right here for our WordPress website. So let me show you how to create this by going back to the WordPress website. And the first thing that we want to do is add a new row. So click on the big plus button right here and then click on the row element. And once you see the row right here, all we have to do is split the row in half. So on the left hand side, hover over this icon and then choose the one that's 1/2 plus 1/2. And you'll see that we have two boxes here. And what we're going to do for the demo WordPress website is put some questions on this side and then some questions on this side. So let me show you how to do this, and then you can pause the video and create as many questions and answers that you want for your own WordPress website. So the first thing that we have to do is add the top section or the title section for these questions and answers. So I'm going to highlight this that says logo design and copy that, and then go over here and just add a heading element. So click on the plus button and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop up, all you have to do is type in the title for this section. So mine says logo design for the first question and answer section, and I want to leave the title size as H2. So I can just come down here, and what I want to do is just align this to the left, and that's just personal preference. You don't have to do that, and I don't need to do anything else. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And then what you want to do is add something called an accordion. So click on the plus button right here and then find the accordion element. And this is where we're going to add all of our questions and our answers. So click on this. And once you get this pop up, you can see that I've already added my questions and answers just to save some time. And what I want to do is just quickly walk you through what I did to add my questions and answers. And then you can pause the video and add as many different sections that you want with different questions and answers for the FAQ page. So on this accordion settings pop-up, you should see this first line right here. And this is where you're going to add your first question. All you have to do is click on the arrow, and it's going to expand the section, and you're going to type in your question in the title section and then your answer in the content section. And then you can just close this. And to add some additional questions, you're going to click on the plus button right here, and it'll add a new line, and you can go through the same steps of adding the next question and answer right here. And you can add as many different questions and answers that you want. And then once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes right here, and you should see the accordion right here. So what I want you to do is pause the video and add whatever type of questions and answers that you want into your first accordion. And if you want to create some additional sections for the FAQ, you want to add another header and another accordion. So pause the video and add all of your different sections and your Q&A and push play once you're ready. And I'll show you what my page builder looks like when I add all of my different sections for the FAQ. And then we'll move on to the last step of creating our call to action for this page. Okay, so pause the video and add all of your questions and answers and push play once you're ready, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, and welcome back. So if you pause the video, then you should have created some additional sections right here for your frequently asked questions. And you can see for the demo WordPress website that we're building, we have 4 different sections separated by these heading elements right here. And in each of these, we have an accordion with questions and answers. So if you need to, you can always rewind the video and rewatch the section where we added the first heading element and the accordion right here if you need some help on creating this entire section. And again, you can always add more sections. I just have 4 right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is move on to the last section of building this page. And let me just go to the demo WordPress website and show you. If I scroll down here, what we're going to do now is just add this call to action, which we have created for a bunch of our WordPress pages already. So let's go and add that. Let's go back to the frequently asked questions page and click on the plus button right here, and then find the row element and just click on that. And what we're going to do is go into the row settings. So click on the pencil. And once you get the row settings right here, we'll just go into the drop down and select stretch row, and then go into the design options tab and add 0px for the bottom margin. And then I'll just put in a background color code right here for the row. So the color code again is #00A9DA. And again, you can always select whatever color that you want. And once you're ready, just click on Save Changes. And now what we want to do is add our call to action. So click on the plus button right here, and then find the heading element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, all we have to do is type in our call to action right here. So mine says, have any more questions? And I'll leave the title size as H2, and we're not going to change anything down here. So all we have to do is go to the Design Options tab and just type in 20px for the bottom margin, and then click Save Changes. And the last thing that we have to do is add our call to action buttons. So click on the small plus button right here, and then find the button element and click on that. And once you get this pop-up, we'll just type in the text right here. So I'll type in contact us. And then for the URL that we'll link the button to, we're going to type in the contact us page. So http://www.yourwebsitename howtowebtutorials.com, and make sure that you put in /contact right here. And then click on set link, and you should see the URL right here. And then what we want to do is just come down to the color style and select the custom option and go through these. So I want to leave the text color as white. For the text hover color, I want to change this to baby blue. So I'll put in #00A9DA. And then for the background color, I want to change this to transparent. So I'll go in here and just change the alpha to 1%, and then click on select color. And then the background hover color, I want to change this to white. And then for the border color, I want to select white also. And that's all we have to do. So once you're ready, go ahead and click on Save Changes. And now you should see the button get inserted right here. And we're actually done creating the frequently asked questions page for our WordPress website. So what I want you to do now is click on the blue button right here that says Publish to save all of our changes. And once the WordPress website loads, this is what you should see. We should have a custom title at the top, and then our questions and answers right down here. And then you should see a call to action and your footer down here. So what we have just done is create all the different pages for our WordPress website. And if you want, you can pause the video and create some additional pages, because you should know how to do this now. So if you want to create a privacy policy page and a terms page that we're going to have in our footer, go ahead and pause the video and create these pages, and then push play once you're ready, and we'll move on to creating the footer. Okay, so I will see you in a few minutes. All right, and welcome back. So now what we're going to do is learn how to create the header menu for our WordPress website. And if you have any questions on how to create those additional pages, you can leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So if you want to add a header menu to the WordPress website, what we want to do is go to our WordPress dashboard, and on the left hand side, come down to Appearance and hover over that, and then click on Menus. And once you're on the menus page, the first thing that we're going to do is type in a menu name. So we can type main menu right here. And then what you want to do is click on the create menu button. And once the menu is created, you should see this section right here. And what we want to do is check this box that says primary menu. So that's going to make the menu that we're making the header menu. And then we can come to the pages section over here and check the pages that we want to add to our header menu. And you can also come down here to custom links, and you can create some custom URLs for your header menu also. But we're just going to add some pages, so I selected the ones that I want to add, and all I have to do is click Add to Menu. And once your menu items are added right here, you can rearrange these if you want by clicking and dragging them to wherever you want to put them. And if you want to make sub-menu items, what you want to do is click and indent it. So this becomes a sub-menu item of the one that it's on top of. Okay, so go ahead and rearrange the menu items to whatever you want. And then once you're ready, click on Save Menu. And once the menu is updated, we can go and check it out. So let's hover over our website name and click on Visit Site. And once the WordPress page loads, now you should see your header menu at the top. And if you scroll down, it should show up with the background color that you selected in your theme options. Okay, so once you're ready, let's move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to create a footer menu for our WordPress website, and also how you can customize your copyright down here. So if you want to do this, we want to go back to our menus. So hover over your website name and then click on Menus. And once you're back on the menus page, what we want to do is create a new menu. So click on this link right here. And now what we want to do is name our footer menu. So I'll just type in footer and then click on Create Menu. And once the menu is created, what we want to do is come down to where it says menu settings and check the box for the footer menu. And then you can add whatever pages that you want to your footer menu. So I'll just add the FAQ. And once the item is added right here, what I want to do is just create some custom links for the privacy policy page and the terms page that I didn't make. But if you made some additional pages, then they probably show up in this list right here. So what I want to do is come to the custom links tab and then just type in the URL for the page. So this is my privacy policy URL. And then for the link, I'll just type in privacy policy right here. And then I'll click add to menu. And once that shows up right here, I'll just type in the terms page URL. So I'll paste that in and just change this to terms and then type in terms right here. And the items should get added right here. And if you ever want to change the name for these, what you can do is click and expand it, and then right here where it says navigation label, you can just change this to whatever, and then that's what's going to show up in your header or footer menu. Okay, so once you're ready, let's click on Save Menu. And once your footer is saved, you can go and check out your WordPress website if you want to, but what we're going to do is just move on to the next step. And now what I want to do is talk to you about how you can customize your footer copyright. So you can see on the demo WordPress website down here we have this copyright and it says Empire created by Soho Themes. And this looks pretty professional, but if you want to customize this and type in something else, what you have to do is get a premium plugin by the Soho Themes developers. And what you can do is come over here to this notification on your dashboard that says footer copyright. If you want to customize your footer, click here to get the Soho Themes copyright plugin. So let me just show you how to do this. So I'll click right here and you should be redirected to the Soho Themes website, and this is where you're going to go to get your footer plugin. And again, this is a premium plugin, so you don't need to get this, but if you do get it, then you can use it on all of the different Soho theme websites, and you only need to purchase this once. So let me just walk you through how to get this if you do want to customize your copyright. So all you have to do is click on this Buy Now button, and you're going to be redirected to this page right here, and all you have to do is click on this button that says check out with PayPal. And once you come to the PayPal website, you can log in with PayPal or you can pay with a debit or credit card. And I'm not going to show you this step because I don't want to show you my bank account information, but go ahead and log in or pay with a debit or credit card, and then I'll show you how to download the plugin and how to install it so that we can customize our copyright after. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. And once you get the premium plugin, if you go to your email inbox, you should have this email right here, which is Footer Plugins Soho Themes Purchase. And if you open it up, you should see this link right here. And if you click on it, it's going to bring you to this page where you can download the Footer plugin. So all you have to do is click on this link right here. And once the plugin is downloaded, what I want you to do is go to where you save the plugin, and you can see I'm in my downloads folder and the plugin is right here. It's Empire Custom Copyright, and we want to make sure that this is a zip file. So if you need to, right click it and then click on compress, and what that's going to do is turn it into a zip file so that we can upload this and install it onto our WordPress website. Okay, so once you're ready, let's go back to our WordPress website now and install this plugin. So hover over plugins on the left hand side and click on add new. And once you're back on the add plugins page, all you have to do is click on upload file and then click on choose file and go to where you save the plugin. And we want to make sure that we select the one that's the zip file. So once you find that, go ahead and click on it and then click on choose and then click on install now. And once the plugin is installed, just click on the activate button right here. And now you should be redirected to the plugins page and you should see the plugin right here. So if you do, then what you want to do to customize your copyright is hover over Empire and then click on theme options. And once you're on the theme options page, all you have to do is click on footer, and the copyright section in here should be unlocked now. So you can edit the copyright 2012. You can add a URL right here to link to this text that you can edit. And then you can also edit the created by right here, and then you can change the URL right here. Just make sure that you keep the quotation marks, and then you can also change the Soho Themes text right here. I'm going to leave everything as is, but if you have any questions about this stuff, you can always leave a comment and I'll get back to you and help you out with this section. Just make sure that you click on the Save Changes button if you do make any changes here. Okay, so go ahead and customize your copyright. And then once you're ready, push play. And we're going to move on to the last step for this website tutorial. All right, and welcome back. So now what we're going to do is the last step, which is publishing our WordPress website. Because if I didn't tell you already, we are done making our WordPress website together. So what I want you to do is come back to your dashboard, and right here where it says your website is currently displaying the coming soon page, and if you want to launch your website, click here. We're going to click this to let the world see our WordPress website. So go ahead and click on this. And now you should see this notification that says, congratulations, your site is live. And if you do, let me be the first to say congratulations on learning how to make your own WordPress website step by step. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and also a 5-star review. And make sure to subscribe to the NYC Tech Club YouTube channel, because we're always coming out with new content, and we're going to be making a few additional videos to support this website tutorial. So if you have any questions whatsoever, leave a comment in the section below. Otherwise, I just want to say congratulations, and I'll see you in the next video.